Yes, it is 7:30 p.m. here on the King's birthday Monday, and the New South Wales Blues State of Origin team has just dropped. Annoyingly, we don't have any numbers, but in some regards, it kind of makes it good for podcasting because we can throw our 2 cents in as to how they may line up. Queensland's team dropped this morning, so we'll kick off the show after Shout of Beers with the Game 2 squads for State of Origin, plus wrap up a massive King's birthday long weekend in both codes, in the NRL and the AFL. The NBA Finals, we've got the jerseys behind us. The Knickerbockers go to Madison Square Garden tomorrow with a 2-zip lead. Can they bring the first chip back to the Big Apple in nearly 50 years' time? We'll have a look at the 2 games that have been and preview Game 3 tomorrow. A big chunk of tonight's show will be a World Cup preview. We're only 4 sleeps away from the biggest sporting event on the calendar and the very first 48-team World Cup, which means we'll have to be on our toes in this preview and fly through a few teams. Our apologies to Curacao. Plus, what do we got? F1 Monaco. We've got a bit of NFL news. Miles Garrett. We've got to chat about that. Plus some UFC, boxing, etc., etc. This is On The Esky. We love our Aussie sports, particularly this time of year. Rugby league, AFL. Yes. We've got a bit of cricket on in the background. I don't know if we'll get to chatting too much cricket tonight.
I think Afghanistan just conceded in that game against India, getting hammered.
Yeah, Poms and New Zealand, plenty of wickets over there as well. But yeah, I don't think we'll talk too much cricket tonight. We will try and get through our local footy codes, plus a little bit of US sport, plus a World Cup. That'll be plenty for tonight. On YouTube, we will have the timestamp so you can skip to the sports that you like. We do have social media, so check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. And if you found us for the first time here on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Just the 2 of us tonight. Just the 2 of us. Monks are coming down with the dreaded man flu, as happens in June in Canberra. So just me and Shauno on my right. We will start the show as per usual with Shout of Beer, and you're going rapid fire, a triple Shout of Beer. Is that right?
Yeah, almost a round, let's say.
Let's go, shout around.
Yes, so I might well start off with, it's that time of the year where I get my one chance to talk about ice hockey. Mm-hmm. So they have gone into the Stanley Cup. We've got the Golden Knights from Vegas taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. The Knights are up 2-1. They've had 2 of those games go to overtime so far. Mitch Murner in the last game had the fastest hat trick, and that game still went to overtime. So yeah, in 6 minutes 10, he had his hat trick for Vegas there. So Game 3, of course, is on Wednesday, which is Thursday our time. Mm-hmm. And just for some notes there, Knights last one in 2023, in the Hurricanes, it's been a bit of a while. 06 was the last time they won their Stanley Cup. So yeah, we're 3 games in. It looks like a very competitive series going overtime, double overtime in one of them. So it'll be interesting to see what the final result is, and probably cover that in a couple of weeks, and we'll have a winner.
Be a good time to be a sports fan over in the US at the moment, wouldn't it?
Yes.
NBA, ice hockey, World Cup about to start. The atmosphere will be buzzing, I reckon, going into their summer. Keeping it over in America, you've got a motorsports theme Shout of Beer as well.
Yeah, just following up a little bit on my NASCAR Shout of Beer from last week after the last podcast after the passing of Kyle Busch. What's pretty interesting is Danny Hamlin. Sorry, stuttering there. Danny Hamlin has won the previous 2 races post that podcast. That takes his total wins in the Cup Series to 63, which equals Kyle Busch.
Wow, yeah.
Who happens to be his late teammate. So I thought it was a pretty cool thing to kind of say. It was like, hey, post the passing, he's won the next 2 races. He's now equaled his late teammate as superstar veterans in the NASCAR world. And of course, he had a big celebration. He was carrying a flag around with Kyle Busch's signature on, saying he misses, etc. This is for him. So I thought that was a bit of an interesting follow-up for that Shout of Beer from last potty. And then I think I was going to cover up Monks' one. PSG have beat the Gooners fans, have won back-to-back Champions Leagues to knock off Arsenal there, which is, I guess, very sad for Arsenal fans, but everyone that isn't Arsenal fans, very happy to see that PSG gets the win there in Champions League.
Well, Arsenal finally got their trophy, didn't they? After all those years, and couldn't quite get a double.
Yep.
We were saying pre-show, pretty amazing that a club that had at one point Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe in the same starting 11 part ways with all of them and then go back to back Champions League. So yeah, it's not just about superstars, is it? It's about being a superstar team, and PSG going back to back in the big one in Europe is incredible, and that's our club football mention because we've got a lot of international football.
Oh yeah, heaps of international football
later in the show. If you are interested in that, I reckon it'll be 90 minutes ish into the
somewhere between an hour to 90 minutes in.
We'll just go through rapid fire through the groups. There's 48 teams. We'll talk obviously a little bit about Australia. And
48 teams, maybe 6 potential winners.
Yeah, let's go 8. Let's say 8. There's maybe 8 teams that could actually win the thing. All right.
What about you, baby?
Yeah, mate. I've got a tennis theme shout of beer. I'm going to shout out 2. We're being generous on the pod tonight. Sasha Zverev getting his first major win, elusive one for him after going down in a few finals before. Has made the Australian and the US, but he finally got his first Grand Slam, winning the French Open in the first final that didn't have Alcaraz, Sinner, or Djokovic since 2022. In the men's, and I think there was Berrettini and 2 unseeded Italians in the semis. So a fair few upsets going on there. So enjoy your beer, Zverev. Well,
yeah, and just to throw that note there that the big 3, so Sinner, Joker, and Alcaraz, is the first major winner since 2022 that wasn't those 3.
Yeah, yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good, especially in the men's realm. It seems like we've gone from
big 3 to a big 3.
Yeah, a big 3 to a big 2, I guess. Yes. With Alcaraz and Sinner dominating the last sort of 4 years.
Plus an old mate, kind of.
Yeah, that's right. Throwing his hat in the ring still. It'd be interesting to see if Joker's still got one in him.
Yes.
But yeah, Zverev finally getting that monkey off the back and is a Grand Slam champ. And then over in the ladies, young 19-year-old Russian Mira Andreeva winning her maiden Grand Slam in another sort of upset heavy draw, which saw Sabalenka bow out in the quarters, and Mira was playing good tennis. She only dropped 1 set in the whole tournament back in the second round, so was going through in straight sets through all the late stage games and late stage matches, I should say, and yeah, has won a Grand Slam at the ripe age of 19. So enjoy your beers courtesy of the Esky, Sasha Zverev and Mira Andreeva. That'll probably be the last that we talk about tennis until Wimbledon comes around, and yeah. Gets a little mention here and there on the pod, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to throw in there was news in between pods that Serena Williams is going to come out of retirement and look to go around again. Not sure how deep she's planning to go.
44.
But I was just checking the 44, so no spring chicken there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how if she. Oh, I don't think they won't invite her to any majors.
She still have to qualify, I'd imagine. It's not like golf where you win one, you can play forever.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I think the US Open would happily invite her to go around.
There's got to be a due process. I don't know how it works. I imagine she would still have to qualify. I feel like even at 44, she'd still be in the best 128 players if she came out. I would think.
Well, I think that's the thing. There hasn't been a significant. Like the men's game, hasn't been like a big change that is now heavily dominated. It's the women are very open, which gives her to me that just looks like there's an opportunity there.
Yes and no. I suppose Sabalenka and Swiatek have probably won a fair few between them, but yeah, like you said, it's not like the men's where it's just been 2 guys sort of exchanging for the last few years. There's a few more that have been in there. Maybe she just goes, fuck it, I'm coming back and beat these young bitches and. Win myself a few more Grand Slams. It'd
be crazy to see.
At 44.
At 44, yeah. Be an awesome achievement.
Page out of Tom Brady's book. We'll see. We'll see if Serena does come back and how far she does end up going if she does. All right, let's go into some mop behaviour.
This is our cricket chat.
Yeah, there's a bit of cricket here in the Big Bash. Sean, you got the story?
Yeah, well, Cricket Victoria, I think, is the one who's going to get our mop for the week because kind of out of nowhere, they've decided to join the Stars and the Renegades together, merging the clubs into one, and they're going to come up with a new brand and a new name. They want them to wear navy, so like Victorian colours essentially. But yeah, well, I'll get to the names in a second. So they are looking to sell the other license to go private. They were trying to privatise the team, and their license they're trying to sell is the Renegades. So Cricket, Victoria will still own the original license, which was the Stars, and they're trying to get something like a private buyer. So this kind of caused a bit of concern and angst with some of the other states as well, trying to run their Big Bash League teams. Like, all right, what's the go here? What's happening in Cricket Australia? Are we going more privatized? By all accounts, they're going to still try to sell this team before the season starts. So they will still have 8 teams this year. But I'm assuming the Renegades aren't going to come back and it'll be another Melbourne team with a different name. So we might get two Melbourne teams with completely different names for this season.
So the Stars and this team, or two completely new...
So the Stars
and Renegades,
are gone. They're a new one team. So they're going to be, the names they're floating is Rangers, Magic, or Blazers for them. A lot of people, of course, have been saying, why, if they're going to do Rangers, why not do Bush Rangers? Because the Rangers have been the favourite, and the Bush Rangers was the state team name until 2018. So that team is a definite. So they're still trying to sell the second team and hopefully sell it before the season starts to get that team back. That team most likely won't have Stars or Renegades tied to it and have another name. So, yeah, I don't know.
Watch this space.
It's just like, it literally came out of left field and was just like, what the fuck's going on? So like the players as well, like some of the guys that have longer contracts.
If they contracted 2-3 years ago, what the hell? Yeah,
if they get merged into one club, it's just like, well, where's my contract going to go exactly? And then also, can I opt out? Can I get out of that now? Because you're not going to have 2 clubs worth of guys trying to make one team, and then you're going to have a bunch of guys fall at the end.
And you have other options, right?
Yeah, exactly.
South Africa has their tournament at the same time. You go to New Zealand.
There's plenty of D10 tournaments going on at any time. So.
Possibly too many.
So lots of competition. So yeah.
Does it open? This is my big question: is it opening the door for IPL infiltration?
Potentially, yeah. Yes. And we've talked about the Melbourne Indians team as Mumbai Indians come in and they'll buy
take on the Sydney Super Kings.
Yes, exactly. They'll take over their over a team and have that affiliation, which they do in a lot of the other T20 leagues. So it kind of makes sense. But also buying a team in the Big Bash League is maybe not money making. So there is.
Surely it is, right? It's still a big market.
Yeah.
Well, they bought in America.
Yeah.
I reckon they're just trying to get their little fingers on everything.
Well, that's the concern. That's why they've rolled the Renegades into the Stars, is because they are struggling for cash. Yeah, so because Cricket Victoria, can't keep them both afloat. So they're like, hey, we can run one team, and then we need someone private that's basically going to foot the whole bill to then take it up and then run that second team. So
that's so interesting, isn't it? Like you look at Scorchers games and you look at Strikers games and how well even the Heat. They do in the not as big places. And then, you look at a Renegades Stars game, the big derby match at the MCG, and there's 20,000 people in the MCG, and it feels pretty empty. So, Melburnians.
So they're too busy buying tickets for AFL games, probably.
Yeah, they're doing fine for crowds. We'll talk about Essendon Carlton in a second. It's an interesting one. It's a bit of watch this space, but certainly a little bit of angst for the players that are contracted and Australian cricket fans as well. Is this the beginning of the end of the Big Bash?
That is the concern. So, especially as we mentioned with all those other leagues competing and maybe not getting the amount of international talent wanting to travel out this far when the other leagues are going. It's just like, But having said that, turn inwards, be focused on Australian Development League, develop those T20 stars. But we've talked about it, the franchise faces, the big names, the other ones generally not playing in, for Australians not playing in this tournament.
Yeah, how much better is the Big Bash when Steve Smith's playing for the Sixers? Yeah,
exactly.
We speak about it every summer, don't we?
Yeah. So until they, but they can't change the calendar, unfortunately. But
maybe they could change it up a little bit.
Tweak it a little bit.
We'll see.
And it's just finished on the cricket chat because we're not going to talk any other cricket. The IPL has finished. It was won by RCB. So the Royal Challengers Bangalore are this year's IPL champions.
Was this the least IPL that you've watched in the last 5 or 6 years?
I think so, and probably going to that previous point because I feel like they've turned more inwards and they're focused on Indian talent development, which is totally fine for them. But for us internationals having less interest in the internationals over being over there, that's probably the reasoning why.
Yep, I would say I'm in much the same boat. I suppose, we also did have a horse in the race the last few years, chatting with Delhi Capitals, and that's sort of gone by the wayside. And I don't know, there's so much sport to keep up on, and the timing of it all.
Yeah, the timing of
midnight games and whatnot.
It's a bit of a challenge, but plus all the big, like, as we mentioned, all the big American sports going on. Anyway, State of Origin is happening. So
let's do it. Can you hit that button, green? All right, hot off the press, and we'll start with New South Wales. I've only got the team alphabetically here. No massive surprises, but certainly the blokes not having numbers to them creates a bit of conjecture. So we can have a chat about it now. But alphabetically, the team as named by Laurie Daly half an hour ago: Mitch Barnett, Nathan Cleary, Stephen Crichton, Adam Fanua-Blake, Payne Haas returns, Isaiah Katoa in the squad. Api Coruscant returns. Tolu Kula, Dylan Lucas, Casey McLean, Mitch Moses, Cameron Murray, Hamole Olakawatu, Victor Radley, Reece Robson, Katoni Staggs, Ethan Strange, James Tedesco, Brian To'o, Isaiah Yeo, Captain Hudson Young. That is 21 names that I've just read out. I've got the guys in red there that have question marks around them.
yeah, well, there's a couple of notes like Teddy. To'o fine. Crichton was there. He was a bit under injured crowd. The Bulldogs did end up winning that game by 2 points against the Eels today, and seems to have gotten through that. So he is in the team. Staggs and Koala there, so they're fine. I think Miss Moses, interesting one.
Yep,
comes back in by all accounts. Comebacks in at 6.
I don't love that if that's what ends up happening because he hasn't played yet.
Yeah,
coming off a hammy.
Didn't play for that Eagles today. Rumours, reports that he had a private training session today. Excuse me, and past that, and that's why he's been named in the squad. So I think the thinking is he's been named in the squad, so it makes it most likely he'll be the starting 6, and that of course pushes Strange to the bench,
who's arguably New South Wales' best player in game 1.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I do not love that. I got to say, if I was picking it, I would have had Strange at 6, and I still would have had Mitch Moses in the 19. But even just like names aside, from a sports rehab perspective, if you've had a hamstring that's enough to rule you out
nothing, and then you
haven't played,
and then we're thrown in an Origin game, what's likely going to happen?
Well, it's
15 minutes later, he's off because he's got to pull the hamstring again.
I just don't love it. A guy that's underdone, I would have wanted to see one game. Like if he got through for the Eels today.
Yeah, like if you can have a private training session today, why not line up for the Eels?
Same question, I suppose. It's just the other end of the sword. If you've done your hammy 13 days ago, what you're not going to go out and play for Parramatta today, right?
Yes.
It's just too risky.
Yes.
So,
but you're going to play a State of Origin game next week?
Well, there's no way to do it, is there? There's no way to do it. You can put him in the squad. And I'm happy for him to be in the squad. I just don't love him starting at 6 with the way that Strange played in game 1.
Yep.
Totally crazy.
Totally fair.
Anyways, watch your space. We this is all conjecture because we don't have
an official starting squad per se, but that's what the writing I think is on the wall though.
Yes, I think who will come straight back into the starting 13 is Payne Haas.
Yep.
Who was a bright spark for the Broncos, who lost their 5th game in a row. What day are we? Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday. So he'll come back in, which means most likely AFB drops to the bench.
Yep.
Reece Robson, Mitch Barnett. I think that's your front row there. Hudson Young, Hamole Olakawatu. Probably no reason to change your edges.
Yep.
And then Isaiah Yeo, if he's going to be captain, probably starts at 13. But there's a lot of people saying, maybe Cam Murray, at 13, given how good he was off the bench. But
True.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, you don't see your captain coming off the bench.
Yeah, from that perspective, with Haas coming back, does Mitch Barnett then drop out? Do you play Yeo as a 10? I don't see a lot of that happening. I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, it was Yeo become an edge, but again, I don't like a...
No, does Cameron Murray start on the edge? And then who misses out? Hudson Young and Olakawatu have both been playing pretty good footy. Yeah.
Yep. Radley retains.
So Radley's there. Saifidi dropped. So, Blake Brayley, that's got to be one of the most unlucky stories ever.
Yep.
Had the current NRL record for consecutive games played. Gets his first taste of Origin footy, break his forearm.
Yep.
It won't be right for the series.
Yeah.
That's just heartbreaking for him, but that is footy. It does open the door for Api Coruscant to come back. I tell you what, after watching the Tigers yesterday, I thought, geez, Api may be in trouble here, but obviously still a pretty good player. It was just on the wrong end of a hiding.
Knows the system.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, definitely knows this New South Wales Panthers system.
Yep.
And then most likely we've got Ethan Strange, Casey, McLean, Dylan Lucas.
Yep.
And as I
Katoa. Yeah, I think Katoa's probably in this. That's why I probably got 21 as coverage in case anything happens to Moses. Moses drops out, Ethan moves up, and then you just slide them along.
Shuffle the cards.
Yeah, because in that case, Burton's the one that misses out, and they have big raps on Katoa, as many people do. So,
welcome to Anthony Becker back in the chat. Yalla yalla. All right. Queensland Origin team. This will be a bit more straightforward given we have numbers.
Yep.
Pretty much unchanged through 17, although Max Plath and Ruben Cotter swap. So Kalen Ponga, Selwyn Cobbo, Robert Toya, the Hammer, Jojo Fafita, Cameron Munster, Sam Walker. So 1 through 7 is exactly the same. Yep. Tom Flegler, Harry Grant, Tino Fasasua Malawe. Britton Nickera comes in to start on an edge with Kurt Capewell. Ruben Cotter goes to 13, Max Plath to the bench. So that's really the only changes there.
Yeah, I thought I saw something that said Capewell was injured, but I could be...
I think he's named. So unless anything's come out in the last 8 hours, that was...
Yeah, I can't say anything. So I think he's good.
I think that was named this morning.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure that should be sweet.
Should be sweet. Yep.
We do see the debut of Cooley Finifuaki, who was the 20th man in game 1, gets his...
He's been killing it for the Dolphins.
Yeah, smashing it. Yeah, a lot of people had him in their starting 17s. Last time round, so Paddy Carrigan did his Cinders Moses seal.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he's had surgery on it. So,
so he's probably missing the series.
Yeah, so they're saying 6 to 8, so yeah.
I think the NRL record coming back from a Cinders is Josh Adokar in 5.5 weeks. So probably his series, but you never know with how good they are at rehabbing. Lindsay Collins, forgot to mention, and Trent Liero at 17. And then this is probably where it gets a little bit interesting, is 18, 19, 20. So Reece Walsh back in, Ezra Mam out, Murray Talangi in, Shibasaki out, and Hylam Lukey will be the 20th man. So less change, I suppose, than the Blues. Their only forced change really was coming up with someone to replace Pat Carrigan. Yep. So Finifuaki gets his nod there, and then Ezra Mam bowing out for Reece Walsh.
Yes, probably hasn't played up to his best. Got dropped this week, so yeah, you can't really pick a guy that isn't playing for Brisbane to play for Queensland. So
for me, as a New South Wales fan, when I saw that, I was pretty happy with that. Game 1, that's probably how I would have gone. We spoke about it going into it. If you have a 19-man bench, yes, his form hasn't been as good this year as what he was in the finals last year. But 9 months ago, 9 months ago, this is the best player in the world that we're talking about, Reece Walsh. Exactly. So I think you got to have him in the 19. Right?
Yeah, agree. We'll see how it plays out. Ezra didn't feature in that first game at all, so whether Walsh will get any time at all will be interesting, but an injury or forced substitution, whatever, he might get some time in the backs.
It was an interesting one from Slater in game 1, wasn't it? Because Shibasaki's on the bench.
Mm-hmm. So, didn't get any time either.
So you have Ponga who goes off. Why wouldn't you move Hammer to 1? Shibasaki comes in the centres, and then that's unfortunate for a forward, but you're probably defending a little bit better that way, I would have thought.
I think he was saving all his substitutions for the end as well to rotate all his forwards out, which he did in the last, to say, 10 to 5 minutes. But
I don't know. Then why do you have an outside back there? I suppose a sin bin is different to an injury. A send off is different to an injury.
Yeah, if you take it the other flip to the side of it, like for the New South Welshmen, like they could then play their outside back because they had theirs taken out through foul play. So like that's the scenario, I guess, is why you're carrying this extra dude on. Yeah, it is the Reece Walsh of game 1 in 2024. That's essentially the thinking is like, hey, if you lose a back, who can we bring in to replace it? So
we haven't potted since game 1, have we?
No.
Send off, you reckon?
Queensland
fan, you New South Wales fan, me.
I don't think send off because I think it wasn't that clear of a shoulder charge. I think the shoulder hits him in the crook of the neck, and then the head does most of the damage. Yes, it's forceful contact. Yes, it's a clash. It's interesting. because when did Knights play? Yesterday or the day before?
Mm-hmm.
Ponga did almost the exact same thing along the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, cleared, no sabotage there, but it was like, I think there might be a lack. There's something in his form or those like coming across there that's actually, he might have a little bit of an issue. You just need to work on, because it looked lazy watching it. It was just like, where's the right?
It looked worse. The Storm one, if he connected on that coming, it's same thing, cover tackle, trying to put a shot on. There's no arm.
On the side.
He's just lucky he missed.
Yeah.
I think on Friday night.
Because I wonder if it's just like it's along the sideline, he's trying to put a bump on, like to get him out. Because like I can see where his arm, like it might be in the motion of coming around, but it doesn't. So it looks bad.
Yep.
But yeah, I in that game I probably wouldn't have sent him off. In an Origin game, I think, especially now, caveat now with 6-man bench.
Yep.
And like you can actually substitute off, try to keep the game competitive. Let's do 13-13.
Yep.
I think 100% fair for a sin bin. And I think if you follow the story of that game, New South Wales get back into it, and then you finish the last 10 minutes with 13-13 with like a point or two in it, and it's competitive.
Blues probably don't win.
Yeah, well, I think it would have been a better win, because I think it was more like a definite win for them, for New South Wales, because they were so dominant in that 20 minutes.
Yeah,
they probably should have won by more, but
bombing tries
and have them disallowed. Like, yeah, it's just such a different game. I think there was like 15-3 sets in that 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's one when you're playing the best players in the world, when you're down a man, it's game over. I thought they might hold. I said it. I was saying to you guys, I think it would be a miracle if Queensland hold on with only a 14-point lead and against the best in the world.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
Ashley Klein has 4 out of 7 Origin send-offs. The Queenslanders had a petition to have him not start in game 2. I think that got to 40 or 50,000 signatures.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for Queenslanders or maybe for footy fans, Ashley Klein will be officiating game 2.
Right, the NRL loves him, so I don't think. I think on the metrics they track, he's still by far the best. Like, besides that, I guess it is, but maybe he follows the letter of what they asked for. Because besides that moment, like, set restarts were way down.
Yep.
He only penalised what he needed to penalise, and the difference in the game was probably that New South Wales turned the ball over, caused errors, and the Queensland.
I thought the first half was perfectly officiated.
Yeah, and the Queensland could just capitalise on it. Like, I think up to that point was perfect, and then he's just like, how can I fuck this up?
I think you had it right there. He's a bit of a stickler for the rules, I'd say, in terms of there's contact, which is forceful, shoulder to the head.
Yeah,
like that was sort of word for word what he said. You have a duty of care that came into it too.
True, and there's been no official release of the audio from the bunker side of it. You hear Ashley's side.
You can hear bits and pieces through his head, but it's a bit.
Yeah, but
it seems like they're saying sin bin.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like they said, shoulder doesn't contact directly the head.
Yep.
It is forceful and bad. Like, it's worth a sin bin. I think was the main bit. It's worth a sin bin. And he's just like, it's forceful to the head. Nah, I'm
I can hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't think he overruled, but he was like very aggressive in the way he applied the rules.
He's also the referee on the field as well. So I don't like.
But then also he was behind Ponga 30 meters away.
Yes.
Making a call from a distance. Whereas the bunker.
Touchy probably had the best view of it.
Exactly.
You know, the shot down the New South Wales left edge when you're looking down and you see
from behind.
It's sort of from behind our line. So from behind Kohler. And then you can see Ponga come across. Right. You can clearly see the shoulder make contact there. And that's when I thought, these one-eyed Queensland fans, they're blowing up about that. But I think you're right. I think it's the head clash which makes much more damage, and you had the gash in the ear, and it's
I actually think that backwards angle was slightly misleading, because if the live TV angle shows the shoulder hitting in the crook of the neck, like right, it's hard to say, but there's a frame of it which shows it hits there, and then kind of as the head hits his head, pushes it back, his shoulder kind of slides and he's falling, and then it makes they're all in the same space, so it's like shit's gonna hit each other.
It happens so fast.
Yeah, I think it was just like it deserved to be a sin bin. Like, it was lazy on Pogba's point. It was dangerous, but it wasn't. Sawali like leaving the ground, flying through the air, targeting Reece Rolfs. Like,
it was probably Suoli's was probably worse coming from a Blues fan.
Watching that back, like when the highlights of send off, so I was just like, fuck, he was going quick and flying through the air.
Walsh does slip a tiny bit, but
he just still decleats him completely.
And you're right, he leaves his feet, rushes out of the line. He's not trying to save it. It's not a try saving tackle attempt. Like,
but again, hindsight with this rule set, send him off for 10 minutes, and then we get the sixth, with the 6-man rule, you get a guy come back on, and then after 10 minutes, you're back to being a competitive football game. So, I guess also with the way the game is played now, momentum is so hard to change, shift, and a send off. I don't want to say ends a game, but it
depends what the score is.
It depends on the score, and I think it depends on the quality too. Like in an Origin game, like it's an all-star game. Like it's a bit different.
Anyways, we'll see. Hopefully, it's footy's the winner in game 2 and not refereeing decisions. But New South Wales go into it with a 1-0 lead, which is what they did last year. Yeah. So Queensland can definitely do it.
Well, it has a 2024 feel to the series where send off the team that maybe shouldn't have won that game ends up winning. And then ends up losing the series. So it'd be interesting to see how this game.
I suppose the Suoliti one was 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Queensland scored 3 quickly after that.
Yeah.
Then it was held out, and then New South Wales faded in the last 20 minutes.
Defended their ass off, to be fair, in that game. But
it's the same period. It's like when they fucking died, and then they ran them over another 3 tries came through. So it's almost impossible, I think, in that level of competition to defend that long with that few people, because take Nathan Cleary's 40-20, for example. It's just like there's no one back there.
Clutch, bro. Fuck it. I want New South Wales to win, obviously, because I'm a Blues fan, but I just want the Cleary rhetoric to fuck up. Win, just keep winning because of Cleary. I hate the he doesn't do it in Origin. Like, that is so clutch.
He just doesn't won enough series. Like, yes, sure, but he's still a really good halfback. He still sees the line. Like,
maybe the best ever.
Yeah, Penrith aren't just good because they're good. Like, he's a big part of the reason for that. So
we'll talk about that in a second when we get to 68-0 because he's very good. I do think we keep moving. Yep. I am conscious of how much soccer we're going to talk about or pretend to know. But let's quickly get through round 14.
Mm-hmm.
Manly continued their winning ways under Kieran Foran at Foz Pines Park. Did you see that? They've actually changed a sign up on the hill.
Mm-hmm. So did you see
called
that?
Foz Pines Park.
Did you see Manly KFC change the Colonel Sanders to Foz as well? So they're loving him up there.
Pandemonium for the Foz. He's signed on as well for 3 years, so that'll make him happy. And they're 8-2 under Kieran Foran since starting the season. 0-3, an incredible turnaround. It'd be nice if the team that wears white and red was able to do that after parting ways with their coach. But anyways, Amola Olakau'atu is good at football, 266 run meters. He's averaging 197 for an edge back rower in 2026. He's really, really good. Interesting one with Kohler getting the exemption to play 8 days after Origin.
Not sure about that, considering how bad the head clash was, and he was probably it needed, I'd say, some stitches in that laceration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. You know what the physio me thinks about that. Yep. But anyways, he got the exemption and he gets some runs on the board and he's named as well. So I'm glad it didn't cost him, game 2 for Origin, I guess.
Yeah.
But that seems very quick.
Yep.
Melbourne, Newcastle. Melbourne have really steadied the ship. They've won 4 of their last 5 after losing 7 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Grant, pretty good in that one. Couple of try assists, try-saving tackle, 31 tackles. The bad news for them, and I saw this is only in the last day or two, Xavier Coates done his Achilles.
Yeah, I think it was the end of last week during training. Ruptured his Achilles and coming back from injury.
Coming back from a debridement, I think is what he had. So they did an unusual sort of thing from a sports med perspective and opted to operate on him. He didn't rupture at the start of the season. They were doing some sort of debridement, maybe taking a bit of a bone spur back, something that was irritating his Achilles, and then with the idea that it's not rubbing him for the season, to then try and get him back through the middle of the year and get some run in his legs, and there probably is maybe then a slight risk, I suppose, of something horrific like this happening, and unfortunately for him, that is now curtains on the season, and it would be so mentally frustrating, I think, for someone to have obviously been dealing with Achilles pain through the off season enough to say we're actually going to put your season on ice and go for a less major surgery, and now he gets now he gets the big one. So thinking of him, and I'm sure he'll come back as good as ever. That I suppose the one saving, the one silver lining with Achilles surgeries is the re-rupture rates are really, really, really low.
Yep.
So it's not like an ACL where, you know, you do have that sort of risk going forward. It's really low risk. Hoping he goes well with his rehab. The downside is it's big for people that, you know, are good in the air and for rugby league going back to rugby next year. He had a hattie with 7 tackle busts and the Chooks go to outright third, which when we get to the ladder is probably a good spot to be, given how much of a logjam there is through sort of 4 to 8. Dolphins 5 in a row. They're the Kings of Brisbane. They're going up and Broncos going down. They haven't lost in Townsville, 4 from 4 up there since coming into the league. Selwyn Cobbo, he's really turned things around, hasn't he? Looked pretty good, I thought, for Queensland a couple of weeks ago.
I think there's no doubting the talent. I think it was the focus, and maybe being out of Brisbane was what he needed.
Yep. Wow. Still in.
He's close enough, but you know what I mean.
His numbers from the other night: 2 tries, 320 run meters, 8 tackle busts, 3 errors. That's probably what you're getting with Selwyn Cobbo. Like, hasn't been great at managing high balls, but with the ball in hand, and especially if your team can get a bit of a roll on, just deadly. And yes, they were walking in a few tries towards the end there. Got to talk about the Broncos, mate. That's 5 in a row. Some good opponents, and then the last 2 weeks not so much. So they started this losing run off against the Chooks, Manly Warriors. Pretty fair, I think, to lose all 3 of those, and then have lost to the mighty Dragons and the Gold Coast Titans the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, not playing well.
Injuries a factor.
They have been banged up, and I think the other thing is, like, they do have guys coming back, but I think the chemistry, like they're just not consistent on the same playing squad week in, week out, which I think is probably hurting them. There's some of their chemistry and who's playing where. You know, whether that's in, like, even just take the halves, for example, whether it's Reynolds in there or Hunt's in there and they're rotating around. Like, it's been it's a bit hard to get consistency week in, week out, which has, I think, been a bit of a challenge for them, especially also through the Origin period with guys coming in and out too.
Shout out to Keanu Keeney, who pretty much won that game off his own back, plucking the ball out of Reece Walsh's hands after Broncos had the go-ahead field goal. And, they're in all kinds of trouble, the Bronx, aren't they? Because Paddy Carrigan was spoken about, 6 to 8 weeks here. They're going to be without Reece Walsh for probably 2 games now for Origin 2 and Origin 3, you would think.
Haas fits in that too.
And they're still, Haas, good point. Still missing Shibasaki, Mariner, Ricky for injuries. It's, you don't want to say it's, have to win now, but it's starting to get that way.
Yeah, got to start getting consistent again. And probably goes like back to what I was saying about the old blokes. They got to be consistently in the team. Having them kind of rotate around has been a bit of a challenge. Ezra hasn't been his best. He's been dropped. So, there's a lot of problems there. That's probably why it goes into the fact that they have been losing games. Shout
out to the Titans. Getting a win for my Dragons. I hate saying that
because they distance themselves from
the
Spoon.
They're probably our best chance. I was kind of happy that Parramatta, the Dogs are sort of in that conversation too, but I do think on paper the Dogs are a bit better than the Eels. In terms of Dragons Spoon watch, we had a bit of a step backwards this weekend with the Titans winning and the Dogs getting the win today. In terms of being a Dragons fan, I'm glad we haven't lost 68-0 this year. Poor West Tigers. It just really looked like the Tigers of a few years ago. Absolute annihilation in Western Sydney. It was the 3rd biggest margin in the NRL era, and the biggest margin was the Tigers back in 2023 when they got pumped 74-0 by the Cowboys. And Nathan Cleary just freak. He had 9 goals, a try, 3 try assists, run for over 100 metres, had doubles to Brian Tottle, Freddie Lussick, Thomas Jenkins try watch, 20 from 13 games. So I think NRL era record will go. The all-time record is 38. So I don't really think anyone in the modern game will score that many.
38,
yeah, 1935. So nearly 100-year-old record for Dave Brown, 15. So pumping out 2.5 tries a game. What is it in NRL era? 23.
23 by Peachy and Nathan Blacklock in 99.
So he's going to get
I feel like AJ's had a better season than that.
I feel like AJ's had 25.
Yeah.
I feel like AJ's had more than that. Can you get us a clarification? I feel like AJ's had 30 maybe.
Let's get some Alex.
You need a T in there.
That's all right.
Yeah. And he's 2 on this year as well, which is pretty incredible. I think he's scored a try in every game except for one or two.
Career breakdown.
Yeah, see if you can find. Yeah, there you go. Career tries. Yeah, so
he's
30.
There's two 30 seasons in there.
Yeah, so that's the NRL era record, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So still got a few to go there, but he's on pace to go well over 30.
15. Yeah, if he plays most of the season, he'll get closer to 30.
He's only played 13, so it's halfway, right?
Yep.
Halfway less a game. So he's sort of on track for that Dave Brown thing, but that would be insane.
Yep.
But I think he's definitely getting the NRL era record.
Yeah.
Unless he gets hurt, which certainly could happen. I hope that doesn't happen.
No, yeah.
Speaking of, Casey McLean had a little ankle scare. He's named in that 21 for the Blues. Not unsure if he'll actually get on, but named. And look, Benji, I think he hit the nail on the head. Embarrassing, unacceptable, apologetic to the fans.
I agree.
And to be fair, Penrith are probably pulled most teams' pants down playing the way they did. I think they had one incomplete set in the first half. It was 36-0 at halftime. That's going to be pretty hard to come out fired up after a drubbing like that. And look, this year is really looking like, can anyone beat Penrith? Because we saw the Warriors run into them without Cleary and Yo, and yes, be really competitive, but still lose last weekend. So,
yeah, well, they've only dropped one game so far. They've got a 4-point lead advantage there, but I think they might have had a few buys in there compared to the Warriors.
No,
the
Warriors have had an extra buy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So so they're even further ahead. It's kind of what I'm alluding to there so far.
It's a 2-game lead, but with extra buy, it's like a 2.5-game lead. It's who can catch them. Yeah. Look at the points difference: 120 more than the Warriors in second.
Adding 68 to it probably helps.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's half of it.
But they were 60 ahead of where the Warriors were.
Yeah,
the Warriors are the closest.
Keep that open because we'll do Sharks, Dragons, and Dogs, Eagles quickly. Yep. And then we'll run through the ladder. Tale of two halves at Shark Park yesterday. We were watching a bit of this together. Dragons looked pretty good in the first half. Didn't drop the ball too much. Led 12-6 and looked pretty horrendous in the second half. 5 tries to zip after leading at 12-6 at halftime, but going down 34-12. A double for Ronaldo Mulitalu, and is it Katoa and Ramian that are off to the Cowboys next year? So that's a couple of weeks old news, but has happened since our last pod. And in terms of ladder watch, not good for the Dragons because it's 6 points now.
6 points and 100 points difference to Eels there. So they've got to win 3 games.
Probably 4.
Yeah. To avoid the spoon. So very looking unlikely.
Connor Watson signs on.
For a year.
The one saving grace for Dragons fans this year is with these reinforcements coming in next year. Yeah. Drinkwater, Kaloa Matangi, Metcalf, Watson.
Some younger guys that they haven't paid as many overs for. Not established veterans that are...
Well, from a cap perspective, if they hadn't had all this money tied up in Gutho and Val Holmes, they'd be laughing because their pack is young and no one's at this stage demanding big money in the pack. Jaden Susua, we need to follow up on scans, but maybe torn pec.
Yeah. It didn't look good.
He's gone had a good run this year.
He's had a bad year.
Calf suspension. Signs with Para when they're going okay. Para have imploded since then.
Yeah, he's gone from 17th to 16th. So,
and if that's a pec, that's him. As a Dragon.
I'd say so. Yeah, it didn't look. He did the classic coming off like touching. Yeah, it looks like it.
I've watched enough footy. I think you're probably more likely to rupture than to just have a tear. So hoping for the best, but sort of preparing for the worst. And thank you, Jaden, if that is the last time that we see him in the red and white, because pretty handy player for the Dragons, really, in a very rough period for St George.
Oh, definitely. And I just want to cover that Watson thing because he signed for a year for the Dragons because he's going to PNG. So he's the.
Oh, is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed. So he's I guess number 3 in the big 3 that have signed on to go to PNG.
That's 3 really good signings.
Yes,
they're better than Perth already.
Yes, I think Perth's kind of go back in the conversation a little bit with some of their recent guys, but yeah, I'd say for big name value that PNG is doing pretty well.
Dogs beat the Eels 14-12 today. It was a real defensive sort of stalemate in the first half.
It was there was no points. Yeah, it was 0-0 at half time. So, yes. And Crichton did get a try on that and converted 2, so he looks. Oh, and also kicked the penalty goal that probably won the game in the 76 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say he is looking good, even though he's been under that cloud with that shoulder that he's been dealing with.
Yeah, he had a grade 5 AC injury. You remember talking about this, and we were like, no chance for Origin 1. And then
I still picked him.
Yes, he played like 2 games before then too. So that's clearly, got to be cumbersome, from a pain perspective. But they've got him to
get them needles.
I would be getting one every week, I reckon, at the moment. But look, he's playing. He's probably not at his barnstorming best at the moment. But playing through pain, and we'll be playing in game 2 for the Blues. Let's run through the table. As aforementioned, Penrith way out in front, 26 points. Their points difference is 273, which is 120 more than the Warriors in second. Warriors outright second, Roosters outright third. Then logjam, so 4 through 7, we have 4 teams: Manly, Dolphins, Cronulla, Newcastle, all on 18. And then the logjam continues 8, 9, 10, Souths, Cowboys, Tigers. And then a little bit of another jump down to 11, 12, 13, 14 is all 12 points. Storm, Broncos, Dogs, Raiders. And then into Titans and Eagles on 10, Dragons, just the measly 4 points down there in last. And that points difference, Shauno, minus 243 for the Dragons, the Eagles minus 152, no one else within QE.
Yep. Yeah, I don't want to, it is halfway point, put some lines through these guys. But then I was looking at this logjam of 11 through 14, and I was like, these guys all played finals last year. So... that being Raiders, Cowboys, and Broncos, but I just don't feel like they've got it. Storm maybe started to right the ship, and maybe out of this group can progress up.
Yeah, out of those,
considering they're still.
I think
4 points
Tigers are going
these.
down. Cowboys haven't looked crash hot in the last couple of weeks.
So whether I could see it, the Storm kind of sneak in the 8 or something, and then be a bad dark horse to run through in the finals period.
Yep, they definitely steadied the ship the last month. Yeah, the Melbourne Storm. Just too much of a classy organisation. And I do feel for West Tigers fans because you get beaten like that. It's pretty hard to fire up for the next week, is it?
So if I'm looking at that, does that say Cowboys and Melbourne no buys for them so far?
Yep. So I think they're the only two teams that are buyless through 14 weeks.
And one more for Penrith.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So they could.
Yeah, that's right. Storm and Cowboys have 6 points of buys to come.
Yep. So they could really be in a better position.
Watch this space. Melbourne clawing back up. Brisbane going the other way. Still a lot of teams outside of the 8 that played finals footy last year. Let's chat some Aussie rules footy.
Is that a red one?
Red. Adelaide have done it again. 3 1-point wins for the Crom.
Crom at home.
Incredible. So 75 to 74 winning over Geelong. That's 2 losses on the trot for the Cats. Tex Walker comes back after having one dominant week in the Sandful, where I think he kicked a few and took hangers and it looked like a AFL player with 300 plus games playing in the Sandful.
Yep.
They're still without Riley Thilthorpe and Isaac Rankin, so probably only improve once they're fully healthy. They've had 8 games this season that have been decided by 14 points or less. Probably the only downside for the Crows was the attrition at the end of the game. They only had 1 guy left on the bench. There was a friendly fire head clash, which always hurts. I think one of those blokes came back on, just stitched up anyway, and Cal Archie's done his hamstring for the umpteenth time. Jordan Dawson's pretty good at footy. 22 disposals, 3 goals. Looked really good. Smith and Dangerfield got a fair bit of it.
Yeah.
Hawthorn go down to the Dogs by a kick. The Dogs overcome 28-point deficit to win 77 to 71.
Big game for the Doggies.
Yeah, they're looking good. The Bulldogs after
they dropped the last 2, didn't they?
No, they won last week and. They're going in the right direction.
Are they going in the right direction?
Yep, they're going in the right direction. They had that little run after Sam Darcy did his ACL and Aaron Norton missed a couple. They're in 6th and going in the right direction after sort of a month ago, looking pretty ordinary.
Blues loss is the one I'm remembering. So
that was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Yeah. So they've won everything since then.
Yeah. So and they're not slouches that they're beating. To be fair, they've won by 6 points, 4 points, and 3 points against the Hawks, Pies, and D's. But yeah, definitely stringing together a good last month of footy. Cody Waitman come back. He had a bipartite patella, so a congenital sort of condition where you patella's in 2 pieces, and I think he had 5 surgeries.
Jeez.
Missed like 18 months of footy.
Yeah, that's different.
Yep. So he's back for the Dogs. The Bont pretty good as per usual. 24 disposals, 2 goals, 7 tackles. I thought it was pretty telling, that video that the AFL released, just on their socials. I sent it in our group chat of just asking different players who the toughest opponent that they've played on.
Yep.
These are the guys that said Marcus Bontempelli, Tom Stewart, Clayton Oliver, Matt Rao, Adam Treloar, Naz, James Horne-Francis. These are only the guys that are being interviewed. So I'd say there's probably a lot more out there that would say it. Interestingly, no one said Nick Dacos.
Yeah. Well, if if the umpies didn't do the Brownlow, he might have won a few.
Maybe. Bont is good at footy. Nick Watson talked a bit of smack at halftime and sort of copped it on social media because he kicked 3 in the first half and didn't do too much in the second half. But there's no denying that the Wizard is pretty good at footy.
Yep.
He fast. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Dogs going in the right direction. Hawks are still pretty good, but it does open up that gap between 2 and 3, which we'll look at when we look at the ladder. Absolute paddling in Bunbury. What about 13,500 people in Bunbury? They love their footy out west, that's for sure. But Freo notch up their biggest winning margin in their franchise history, 124-point win over North Melbourne. I think they kicked 19 goals in a row. I think the Freo, I don't think that Kangas managed one in the second half.
Yeah, I've seen the memes. This is like time since scored the last goal and it's over an hour or something like that.
Yeah, it was a
long period.
Long time. They've just got
Dockers looking good.
Mate, they just got so many ways they can hurt you.
Yep.
Luke Jackson's a unicorn. He had 3 goals, 22 hitouts. Patrick Voss had 4. Josh Tracy had 4. Sort of 170 plus, I would think. But yeah, it's them. Yeah, just get a different ladder up there for us. Yeah, it's them 2 and then the rest. There's a 10-point gap between 2 and 3 at the moment.
There you go. They got 30% on everyone else.
Shows how good my maths was. 147 is their percentage. Yeah, a lot higher than anyone else. Your Lions, mate, they bounced back after 3 losses in a row. They've continued to dominate the Q Clash. Logan Morris, he's pretty good.
Yep.
Kicked 7. That's his biggest bag so far. He's still got he's got 32 goals on the season. I thought he, compared to last year, may have been a tiny bit quiet. No, he's going fine. He's going fine. Right. Just hasn't had the huge bags just yet, but he's certainly had plenty of 3 and 4 goal bags. And he can kick it every way. Drop punt, left foot snap, right foot snap, which for key forwards is really important. And we're seeing certainly a lot of guys
young and talented
are really looking like they can only kick a right foot snap at the moment. So if you can kick all 3 ways, it makes just that more dangerous, doesn't it? Lockie Neal, good as per usual. John Noble and Ben King, pretty good in the losing effort for the Suns. And the Suns, I have some concerns because their next 5, they go at Geelong, Hawthorn, at Freo, Pies, at Adelaide.
Yeah.
That's like...
They seem to only win at home as well. And if they're not winning at home, that is a big concern.
Maybe a little bit overhyped at the start of the year.
Yeah, and then they're facing the top 8. Well, everyone's in the top 8 out of that list. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough old run. Yeah.
Maybe they can knock off the Pies and, I know, scrounge 2 out of 5 in that run, but that's a really, really hard month of footy upcoming for the Suns. West Coast Port. West Coast went down by a single kick. They had plenty of opportunities in the fourth quarter. They kicked 2 goals, 6 in the fourth quarter to fall just short. And I think this was the next game, the Sydney St Kilda game. I think it was 5 games under a goal, and then Carlton was under a goal. I think we had 6 games under a goal this week. Craziness.
Yeah, very, very competitive.
Swans Saints. This is up there with one of the best games of the year with Josh Strong stealing victory at the death. Isaac Heaney had 30. and 2. I had 30 and 5 last week against Richmond. He'll be throwing his name in the hat. Oh, his name in the hat. His hat in the ring. Hat in the ring for the Brownlow.
I guess he could throw his name in the hat if they're going to pull it out.
Yeah, that's You're right. I reckon hat in the ring was probably what I was after, but maybe works on a technicality. I think his problem with the Brownlow is there's going to be a few guys that take some votes off him, even in McInerney, Warner, etc. But yeah, he's very, very good. And a bloke that might have won himself a car was Liam Flan. That hanger was unreal. Just sitting on Brody Grundy's head. That's a long way to go up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He kicked 5. I've got Mark of the Year contender. It's going to take some beating there for Flying Ryan. And yeah, Port St Kilda, they've just lost a few like this year where they've.
Yeah, I was just checking their position, and I was just, like, for them to compete so well with this with Sydney, and then they're sitting here in 12th. And you look at their recent record of 1 win and 4 losses.
Look at their percentage. It's 102, and they're 5 and 8. So they've lost a lot by a little bit. And yeah, they've lost 4 of their last 5, and they're going to need to get their ass into gear to try and keep competitive for that play-in area.
Yeah,
but certainly on paper they're good.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just hard to win games, I guess, especially Sydney at the SCG.
Yes.
Mate, this was a scrap fest last night, wasn't it? Bombers, Blues, 77,000 in there. It speaks volumes to the AFL and the diehard fans to watch 2 teams that have been struggling. One team really, really struggling, and one team up until 4 weeks ago,
up until sacking their coach.
Also really, really struggling. But yeah, a loud, hostile environment in there. A fair bit of scrap as well, not just with the kicking of the footy, but actual, little spot fires throughout the game. Even one where the Mackay brothers had hands on each other. I don't know how serious that was, but anyway, so he gave him a good clap as well after getting a 50-metre penalty, and then went forward to spray the goal, which is a little funny. But he got the last laugh in the end, did Harry, because Carlton pulled it out of their ass and won by 5 points. And
well, what do you think about the time wasting? Because there's been a lot of talk about the wasting the 40+ seconds with a minute to go.
I think you're within your right there, but then do you need to actually try to shoot for goal?
Yeah.
Because he didn't. He just ended up laying it up to the top of the square.
Yeah. After wasting all that time.
I'm sure if he tried to kick a big barrel or something,
he could probably get it to the goal square. You'd probably definitely get it very, very close.
I think it's just gamesmanship. I don't know. Am I seeing it one-eyed?
There is I definitely think a lot of people that watched that last portion of the game thought there was like, maybe he's taking the piss here. But it worked in their advantage. So you're winding the clock down. All they needed to do was just like, I got cramp as well, and they just stretched that for a little bit longer. It was like, give me a second, let me get this. I don't know, because I can see the conversation starting. We need a shot clock. This is like, hey, you line up for a goal, but you've got 30 seconds to take your goal.
It's 42, I think is what they said.
Yeah, 42 in total for him. But whether they, you got the things start ticking down.
Imagine that shot clock and it's free kick the other way if the shot clock goes off.
Don't start the conversation.
I saw it as gamesmanship, but I am also a Blues fan, so let us know. Essendon could have actually got out to a bigger lead. Their forward entry was atrocious in the first half. Nate Caddy was blowing up, and rightfully so, because I reckon there was about 4 times the ball just sailed over his head after he was well out in front of the lead. So they sort of struggled to punish Carlton. They could have had a 5 or 6 goal lead going into halftime. Just their style as well, like with that backwards handball chain that they get going, and they end up losing 50 or 60 meters, and they just don't have. It feels to me like
it's like international soccer. It's just like possession.
Yeah, their stats, like the uncontested marks that they have, is like really high, and the tackles is really low. Yes. So I don't know. It's a bit of a boring brand, and
But I guess the difference between that and soccer is, that just takes 1 goal to win a game, whereas this, you have to score points.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to score regularly. So,
and especially when you're playing with a lead, like you can't just park the bus. And I don't know. I think they've got lots to work out, don't they?
Well, there's a reason they're on the bottom of the ladder.
But shout out to their fans, still showing out in droves and really, yeah, maybe some time wasting aside, could have knocked off the Blues, who win 4 in a row and are starting to look dangerous for that play-in sort of area. And they still have a pretty good run as well. I think the Blues have a bye next week, but then they do have the Giants, which is hard, but then also have Eagles and Tigers upcoming.
Yeah, they're just Pies are the only ones because they had that draw ahead of them, but they're basically there and thereabouts for that wild card spot.
Yeah, which is crazy given where they were a month ago.
Yep.
Collingwood and Melbourne, can you just get up some updates there? Yep.
D's won.
D's win 83-75 for Big Freeze 12. Obviously a huge occasion given what's happened in the last couple of weeks with the passing of Neil Danaher.
Yep, and then they had Jai Arrow there flip the coin.
Yep.
So, another big name in that space. So, yeah, it was awesome to see them out there again, continue to raise money for the hopeful research and treatment of motor neurons disease.
Massive showing, and you almost, in some ways, feel sorry for Collingwood for the timing of it, running into the D's after legend passes. But an awesome game of footy, sort of unlike the Blues and Bombers the night before. Hard contested. Entertaining game, and Cozzy Pickett gets the best on with 28 disposals and 3 goals. But Nick Dacos won't have done his Brownlow hopes any harm with 35 and 2 for Nick. Maxi Gawn as well. If you just go by, there you go. 22 disposals, 46 hit outs, 6 clearances. He's still pretty good at big Maxi Gawn, and a big reason I think that they won that game in the end. But if you can bring up the AFL ladder there for us, Shauno. So Freo and Sydney way out in front. So 48 points for Freo, 44 for the Swans, and then a 10-point gap from the Swans down to Hawthorn in third on 34. And then Cats, D's, Dogs, all 32. That rounds out the top 6. And then we have Suns, Crows, Lions, all on 28. Giants by themselves in 10th on 24. Pies, it's a big loss, I think, in terms of where they are on the table. They're on 22. Saints, Blues, Roos are 12, 13, 14, all on 20. And then Port 16, West Coast 16. So that's a big swing, I think, in that game from the weekend. Richmond 8, Essendon 4. I think you line through Bombers and Richmond. And then West Coast and Port, yeah, they're probably still, they're only 2 games out of it, but they'll need something pretty special. Yep. Interestingly, Port has a positive percentage as well, despite being 4 and 8. So much like St Kilda, they're losing a lot close and winning big when they win.
Low scoring games, I think, for those numbers both been under.
Yeah, look at their defence, 969 against. Scroll up. Who else is in the 900s for defence?
Crom,
Adelaide, Freo.
And Freo, yeah.
So they're fine at in the back 6. It's just need to score a bit more. Looks like Port. But yeah, about halfway through now, we'll start seeing a fair few buys coming through. And yeah, we've got a pretty good read on how the season's looking. Freo, Swans, then the rest.
Yep.
All right, let's talk some NBA.
Do you remember which one it is?
I think it's this one.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
Mate, the Knickerbockers fans, they will be... Well, it's
paying out the nose.
Mate, it's theirs. It's theirs to lose. They go home to Madison Square Garden with a 2-zip win or 2-zip lead after winning both in San Antonio, and the Spurs had reasonable leads in both.
I think they
both of these games
had double-digit leads early in both games. But yeah, I think they got behind in game 2 and they had to catch up. Made it equal, but then the Knicks held on and win that by 1. Costly Wemby turnover maybe at the end.
Who's at fault there? Is it Wemby or is it your point guard that should be looking for the ball? I don't know.
Well, I guess if you're throwing him the ball, you probably want to.
You're the guy that got
you're looking at him, yeah.
Yeah.
But then also you probably in those moments want to be looking for the ball. So
yeah, demand.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a shared. Unfortunately for Castle in that second game, I think he played probably a bit unders. If you look at some of his. Can I get his?
See if you get a box score there. I think they're cooked. I think we spoke about it. You placed 7 in the conference finals.
He got 14 points and shot 5 from 14. So,
Yeah, they just look a bit tired, don't they? The Spurs, and rightfully so after that war with the Thunder.
Well, I think we've got to talk about Cat. I think Cat's probably
is the difference.
Is the difference, on Wembley. Like he saw how good Wembley was against Chet, and Chet's numbers were way down, and then we've got the inverse now. Cat's actually taking it to Wembley a bit, and then putting up good numbers himself. He's beaten him twice on rebounds as well, so he's leading him in that statistic.
He's looked very human these two games. Wembley, hasn't he? That massive turnover at the death. He only shot 6 of 21 in game one. He hasn't looked like the alien. That's,
and 2 for 12 against like when covered by Cat too. So that's a big reason why he has been struggling for his numbers. But again, it could be a combination. Cat's playing really well, and the Spurs probably maybe. You'll be cooked there. They're a bit burnt out after that massive series against OKC.
Yeah, he's a number 1 draft pick for a reason, Karl Anthony Towns, and he's 2 wins away from a chip ring. Jalen Brunson, pretty good, especially in game 1, although high volume to get his 30 points. Josh Hart's been interesting because he hasn't scored a point in either game, although he's actually pretty good in game 1 before failing out in game 2. Yep. But that's 2 games for a starter to not put up a point. It's pretty interesting. Go back to game 1 because his numbers without scoring were actually pretty impressive. I think he had double-digit boards and a fair few assists for Josh Hart there. But yeah, it's a massive one, and we'll have a look at the prices for tickets for tomorrow, which is crazy. 27 minutes. Oh, it says 3 points.
He got 3 points.
Fake news here on the Esky. He scored 3.
1 field goal and 1 free throw.
So he's got 3 points in 2 games, but 15 boards, 6 assists. Ticket prices. Craziness. 8 or 9,000 to get into the building. So
that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yep, tomorrow should be 10-ish our time, 10:30.
10:30 our time. Yep.
So the first of 2 games at the Garden, and the first time the NBA Finals have been in New York since 1999.
Yep.
You can imagine wealthy city, lots of big celebrities. I'm going to see Timothy Chalamet and big Knicks fans. In the maybe 6-digit courtside seats, and I think it's 8 or 9K to even get in the building, which is crazy. Yeah, you got the 99 finals there. So what happened?
Knicks won the first 2 games and the Spurs won the rest.
Whoa! No, that's not. No, you got that wrong. You got that wrong.
Yeah, okay. Spurs won the first 2, and then sorry.
Yeah, Spurs won the first 2 at home. Knicks took 1 off them, and then the Spurs ended up winning 4-1.
4-1.
Pretty rare to overcome an 0-2 deficit. So I think the Cavs did it with LeBron.
Yeah, well, the 3-1 is
something like that.
The classic one, yeah.
Yeah. 3-1's never been done, I don't think.
No, I thought that's what the Cavs did. They were 3-1 down to the Golden State, and then they won that series, didn't they?
Yes, no, I think you're right. I think we're talking about the same series.
Yeah.
So they started up 0-2, and then they came back from 3-1 under LeBron. You're right.
Yes.
2016. There we go.
Yeah.
We got there. Thank you, Internet. So they're going to have to pull out LeBron 2016 shit to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Knicks win. I haven't done it for 50 years, and I feel like with Wemby and this young Spurs team, they're going to be there or thereabouts for the next decade.
Yes. Yeah. You probably... Any team that's going to have Wemby on it for the next decade is probably going to be playing deep into the finals going forward. So, yeah, he's going to have plenty of opportunities, we think. Of course, touch wood, be healthy, etc. But yeah, with that talent level, and if they keep building around him, always get some more improvements where they can get the guys around him they want. They're going to have deep runs. Whereas, I think I don't want to say the Knicks window if they now seems like a good period for them, especially with some of the guys that kind of, I don't want to say cobbled together, but guys that are kind of well established elsewhere and they've kind of come together to build this Knicks team. It's going to be interesting.
We'll see what happens. If they win at home tomorrow, that's close to all she wrote.
Yeah.
You never know.
I wonder what game 4 ticket prices will be there.
Astronomical. If up 3-0 and they're likely to seal it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I feel sorry for the NYPD. They've got enough to bloody worry about these days. But they're gonna have potentially their work cut out for them this week if there's a championship going to New York for the first time in a long time. What about the other sport? The Yankees haven't been the best in recent years, have they? When's the last time a New York team? It's probably the Giants, is it? I don't know.
Oh no! Sorry, I thought this was my end to talk about Major League Baseball. So
Yeah, go. He's googling straight away. He's like, "When's the last time the Yankees won?"
I was just saying how far along. They're about halfway in the season, so we can ignore that for now. But look,
they're three months, not even
three. I'm just going off. I guess that's 50 games. That's 60 games. So yes, they're a lot deeper.
So Eli and the Giants won in 2011. Is that correct? So we've got 15 years since they've had a football. The New York Liberty won the WNBA in 2024. See if you can just go maybe Major League Baseball winners, and then you need to do hockey as well because I couldn't speak for the Rangers or the Islanders. Anyways, this is where we need our man Monks, don't we?
Yeah.
Chasing them up. Just go.
Well, it's not going to be the NFL,
or just go Major League Baseball champions and NHL champions, because then we can have a look.
Well, I looked at the NH Stanley Cup winners. I looked at this earlier. I don't think they were.
There's no Rangers or Islanders or Devils. They're all New York, New Jersey franchises.
And what was the other one?
Major League Baseball.
So World Series winners.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be.
To be fair, these are our two non-preferred US sports, to put it delicately.
Where is champion since there?
There we go. All right, scroll down on NHL. He's got to scroll down.
Let's go all the way to the end and come back.
All right, here we go.
So Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers, Knights, Avalanche, Lightning, a few. Kings, Bruins, Blackhawks. Nah, the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey in 2003 is the the Rangers won in 94.
94 for Rangers.
What about the Yankees? This is the team that's most likely to have done it. Scrolling down.
All the way to the end.
I can't see any Yankees. There, 2009.
So it probably would be the Giants then.
The Giants. That's 15 years since outside of the WNBA, a big franchise in New York.
Yep,
has taken it home. So we'll see. We're only 2 games away from potentially the biggest city in America going crazy.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of big cities going crazy, we've got a bit to get through here with the biggest sporting event.
3 continents.
Yeah, three countries.
Three countries. Yes.
It's this one here, I think. All right, we're going to try and fly because we have 48 teams to get through. We'll waffle a little bit with Socceroos.
Is it Group A through to J?
I think we're about to find out. How good? It's 12. K.
J. No, there's definitely K.
J, K, L.
Oh, yeah. Others.
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's an I and a J in there because I wrote them the last lot.
Yeah, I can just scroll down.
L.
We go to Group L.
Group L.
All right. Group A is Mexico, South Korea, Czechia, South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The ones with the host nations probably lacking the real powerhouse team because of the automatic qualification.
Mm-hmm.
But Mexico are still ranked 14 in the world. They're $76 to win the whole thing. They do have a world-class center sort of defensive mid in Edson Alvarez, who plays his soccer out at Fenerbahce in Turkey. And they were undefeated in 2026, including winning the undefeated last year and won the CONCACAF Gold Cup last year against the USA in 2025. And the teams that they've drawn with this year are Portugal and Belgium. Mm-hmm. So they're pretty good.
Handy.
They're pretty good. They'll get home field advantage. They'll play all their group games at altitude in Mexico. They'll be the clear favourites to win this group. South Korea, on paper, maybe could match them a little bit.
Yeah, it should be competitive. Got Sun, of course.
Yep. They've got Son there. They've got Lee Kang-in. He's at PSG. They've got Kim Min-jae at Bayern. So as far as Asian countries go, probably the biggest in terms of superstars.
Yes.
Have some real big names. They won their warm-ups, but they only played Trinidad and Tobago and El Salvador. So maybe lacking a little bit there in terms of quality recently, but they were really good in the Asian qualifying as well.
Yeah.
So could definitely see them winning this group, but it's going to be Mexico's at home to lose. Czechia, or Czech Republic, they've got a good striker in Patrick Schick. He's at Bayer Leverkusen. He has 80 goals in the Bundesliga from 150 games, and their fans had to go through it to get there. They won both their playoff games on penalties, so knocked out Republic of Ireland and Denmark in March to get through. And then I feel like South Africa is just making up the numbers. They're 501 to win the whole thing. They're ranked 60 in the world. No real world class players for the South Africans. So Group A, probably Mexico's to lose. South Korea or Czechia maybe to come through.
To be fun.
And South Africa looking to win some upsets. Group B, maybe the weakest on the tournament. I think when you look at the rankings, so Switzerland 19, Canada 30, Qatar 57, Bosnia and Herzegovina 64.
Yep.
So probably lacking a real powerhouse. The Socceroos just drew with Switzerland.
Yeah.
So maybe not having a real superstar team in this group. Granit Xhaka's going around. He's their captain and has 146 caps. He's at Sunderland these days, but has been at some big clubs in the EPL in the past. They've got a world-class defender in Manuel Akanji, who's at Inter from City, and they actually topped their group, but their group was a little weak in Kosovo, Slovenia, and Sweden. So they had automatic qualification, but in terms of European big names, probably on the lower end.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Canada, host nation. They'll play a few at home. They've got Alphonso Davies. He's at their captain. He's at Bayern Munich. Jonathan David, a forward at Juventus. He's got 39 international goals. They're at their third World Cup, so they're going back to back. They were there in 2022. But yeah, they've been pretty ordinary in their friendlies. Home field advantage will be massive for them, but not expecting heaps. And then the rest of this group's not great.
No.
Qatar have been horrendous, really, in the past sort of 9 months. They were meant to have a few friendlies, which got canned because of the war.
Yeah.
So they can't really help that.
Yes.
But they're 501 to 1, and see how they go without their air-conditioned FIFA, maybe corruption. If they couldn't do it in Qatar, I don't know why they're going to go far here. Is my feeling.
Oh yeah, agree.
This team did knock out Italy in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think one of the best stories here is Edin Dzeko returns to the World Cup after a 12-year absence. Former Man City guy, a big name, maybe the best Bosnian footballer of all time. Probably don't see them going too far, but with Qatar in the group and
it's that kind of group that you could definitely surprise.
Yeah,
yes, we're going to say Switzerland probably a favourite on the paper here, but they're not the most convincing team, and a surprise packet like Bosnia, maybe with some momentum and hype, after beating an Italian team. Might steal a couple games here and be competitive coming out of this group.
The format's interesting as well because we're talking about it pre-show.
Yep.
You have 8 out of the 12 third-place teams come through. So will we see teams try and push it a little bit more, knowing that, yes, if you do drop a game, probably a win and a draw is going to get you through anyway?
Yeah, because if you cover it, because we're trying to get the first round essentially gets you from 48 to 32 teams.
Correct. So only 16 go home.
Only 16 go home. So there's still a huge chance for everyone.
Yep.
There's a lot to play for to continue to go on in the World Cup. Yeah, it's going to be a long World Cup. So
5 weeks. Yeah, 5.5 weeks. Get at us in the comments as well regarding the 48 teams. If you think it's overkill, we do have a quarter essentially of FIFA nations playing at the World Cup, and we still miss out on some powerhouses like Italy. But we don't. There's no Nigeria. There's no Cameroon. There's no Denmark. There's still a fair few big nations
I think
that miss out.
I think it's cool. I think it's going to make a shitload of money because of the TV stuff.
Yeah.
But logistically, to maintain this going forward. Because as we just said, we've got 3 countries hosting this. What 3 countries are going to host the next one?
I think. Can you look that up? I think it might be France. Oh, actually, I don't know if I'm getting my wires crossed because they have the Winter Olympics next.
Have they announced it?
It will be announced if you go to 2030. There you go. Morocco, Portugal, Spain. Cross continental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're doing a centenary. They're doing Argentina, Paraguay, Europe. So we're seeing obviously it's getting spread out across multiple locations. They won't go backwards. There's
No, well,
once you
it's
once you
the
get more
world's
teams,
game.
yeah.
So, like, yeah. So then, does that say Hold on.
2034, Saudi Arabia with other countries to help. Is that right?
Don't know. Tyson, but it's the same. It is 8 years away, so there is.
Well, anyways, we'll watch this space.
Because this is the one we were bidding on, wasn't it? This is the one where you lost out.
I think so. Yeah,
Australia
I think
lost
Australia
out
had a crack.
In hindsight, with where stadiums and budgets and things have gone, it's
probably- yeah,
it's
probably-
probably a good thing we missed
bloody
out.
oath. Don't let us stuff it up.
Yeah, exactly.
It also means we're going to have a lot of really one-sided group games.
Yep.
Right? There's no group of death. Like
Yes,
we're
yes.
talking about it pre-show.
Yeah, I think they've spread teams out well. Maybe besides Group C, based on the 2 seeding I'm seeing there. But the top guys, the top teams are kind of spread out throughout the groups because there is so many groups that have made it easier, on them to get away from this idea of a group of death.
Well, on Group C, they have Brazil. So the juggernauts of years gone by. It's actually 24 years now since they've won the World Cup back in 2002. And with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm and Neymar starting to get a little bit older, I do wonder if they're in a bit of win now mode. But they're probably in win now every World Cup. They still have a heap of superstars. They got Alisson in goals. Their captain's Marquinhos from PSG, Casemiro, Vinny Jr., Rafinha, Martinelli. They've still got a bunch of guys. I suppose when you look at Brazil, in the Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Rivaldo type days, Cafu, they're probably not that team.
Yeah, exactly.
But they still could win the World Cup.
Yeah, they're
$10.
Yeah. The talent that comes out of South America is still amazing. So they're still going to be a high quality football team. So yeah, I expect them to go deep.
And I don't know can you even call them dark horses anymore? Morocco's ranked 7 in the world.
Yeah.
They haven't lost since January of 2024. Asterisk. Asterisk.
Check the tape. We're going to have
AFCON final where they, 3 months after, got adjudicated to be the winners after some crazy scenes in the African Cup of Nations final at the start of the year. But their run of form is insane. I'll try and find it. They have world-class players like Hakimi, the captain from PSG, is unreal. They have Diaz, they have Mazraoui. They're going to be, on paper, pretty good. Are they like win the World Cup good? Maybe not, but they made the semis 4 years ago. They're ranked 7 in the world, and there's probably no reason why they can't go far again. So we've just got the last couple of years. Yes, in Africa, just beating the teams that they have to beat, fair enough. But this year, just winning at will, 4-0, 5-0, 2-1. They had a draw against Ecuador. They've had a draw against Nigeria, which they won on pens, and obviously the AFCON final at the end of last year was a dubious one. But definitely could go far. It's just are they World Cup winning far? Maybe not. Scotland return for the first time since 1998. They're $501 to win it. They probably went okay, I think, here because Haiti's in there too.
Yep.
So Haiti, good luck. Maybe making up the numbers. Their first time round since 1974. But if Scotland can get 3 points against them and try to qualify from third, or who knows? Maybe the Scots knock off one of those 2 big teams in Group C. Group D, mate. How you feeling about the Socceroos?
Well, I'm just looking at that group, and I guess we're maybe one of the groups that has a very similar average of world seeding compared to all the previous groups that we've looked at. So I guess maybe that's not great news for us, but then also it should be a highly competitive group.
That's right. It is a highly competitive group. The lowest ranked team is Paraguay at 40. The highest ranked team is USA at 17.
Yep.
So no real world-class teams, but no shit teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And USA at home,
Yep.
That's going to be really hard. They have Pochettino at the helm. They have Christian Pulisic. They beat us in a friendly in October last year, but they're also not world beaters. They've lost their friendlies in their warm-ups to Belgium, to Portugal, to Germany. So they're very beatable. But it's going to be hard, I think, at home.
Yeah, they just lost to Germany yesterday.
Yes.
I did see that.
Yep. There was a rocket in that game. Anthony Robinson, I think his name, smacked it and then did the whole round-off backflip to celebrate. Obviously, home field advantage is going to be a big thing for them. But the team I'm actually more worried about is Turkey.
Yes.
So the Turks are ranked 22. They have Hakan Çalhanoğlu at Inter Milan. They have a really good attacking midfielder in Arda Güler from Real Madrid, and they've not lost this year. Granted, they haven't played the cream of the crop. They've beaten Romania, Kosovo, Macedonia, Venezuela, but they have some real world-class players, plus a core group of guys that most of them are playing at Galatasaray and Fenerbahce.
Yep.
So,
Cam,
if anything, I'm more scared about Turkey than USA or Paraguay, and we get them first off. So this time next week, we'll sort of know where we're at. It's a great time for Aussie viewers, 2:00 on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
How good is that? And yeah, if we can manage a draw.
Who's carrying it for Australia?
Say again?
Who's the carrier? Who's
SBS.
SBS. It is SBS.
I think it's SBS all games.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other. Just follow that up. Yeah, I don't think you need any subscriptions or anything. So if you have free-to-air TV, I think SBS will cover all. I'm not sure how it works if you have a subscription service, if you can get a little bit more. But I think
free, live and free on SBS.
Yeah, all 104.
And you can watch it on SBS on demand. Yes, and no subscription is required.
Sweet, good. That's
all SBS.
Really important thing. And the order there is important, I think, because we go Turkey, USA, Paraguay. So if we can get a draw at Turkey, if we get a win, you win one, you're really close to getting out of your group. But I think probably the most beatable team will be Paraguay.
Yep.
They're ranked below us in being 40th. They're $276 to win the whole thing. They don't have the world class guys like Turkey and the USA do. They still got some good guys. Gustavo Gomez, Miguel Almiron used to play at Newcastle. He's pretty good. The problem is they play against South American teams regularly, and knock them off occasionally. Yeah. So again, it's no gimme.
Yep.
But looking at the group, it's probably the best chance.
Yeah. Historically, we have those nightmares of Uruguay. They have a very similar name, but different class, of course. So I'd hope Australia can. I hope we get it.
We get them last,
stage. Yeah,
and I think that's going to be like a knockout game.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to have 6 points going into that. If we have 4, we're laughing.
Yeah.
If we've got 3, that'd be great. If we've got 1 or 2, I think it's going to be must win.
Yeah,
or 0.
Yep. Can you? And it might be a good point to cover it, because I was just looking at this third place grouping and the ranking of the third place, and how of the 12 only 8 go through. So how does that work?
So we'll just go off points first.
Yeah.
So presumably there'll be a bunch of teams there that have 4 points.
Yeah. So I'm assuming out of this group stage, 1 and 2 in every group goes through, and then the top 8 of the 12 go through. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
24. Yeah. So that gets us to the 32 number. Yep.
Yeah. So again, I think that gives a little bit of incentive to go out there and try and win a game.
Yeah. Yes. Win games
because if you have two draws and a loss, you're probably not getting out in third, right?
Yep.
But if you win one game, maybe have a couple of goals, because that will be after goal difference. That'll be the next.
It'd be points, goal differences, goals. Here, it's here. Points, goal difference, goals scored, and team conducted score. Latest FIFA rankings, previous FIFA rankings.
You don't want to. Well, if it goes to FIFA rankings,
we're pretty good.
we're 27. That might be a good tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But I think there's incentive there to go out and try and win games and to score goals, because goals scored is the third tiebreaker after points and goal difference.
Yes, 100%.
Let's talk about the Socceroos, led by Tony Popovic. Matt Ryan in pretty good form for Levante. He's our most capped player, the keeper, with 104. International caps. We probably don't have anyone that's world class yet. Okay. I think Aaron Kunda, Geordie Boss, probably getting there. Geordie Boss is I think on the biggest contract that an Australian has ever had. Aaron Kunda, you saw him hit the post in that Switzerland game. He's got incredible power. Has come through a Bayern Munich system. Sure, Watford at the moment, but I think he'll find himself at a real big club one day. But he's just young, right? I think he's 21. I think Boss is 23. I think Christian Volpato, the guy that's come across from Italy, and that's caused a bit of a hoopla down here because of the allegiance switch.
Well, yeah, I think because of some of his quotes for why he was going to play for Italy originally,
he's
rubbed some people the wrong way.
That's right, very Azzurri, Italian blooded, but then has done the old switcheroo, and we've taken him with open arms.
Exactly. Well, by all accounts, he wasn't getting a game for them anyway, so he wasn't playing very much in the Italian system, and they're not in the World Cup.
He gets to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be likely the last hurrah for Matty Ryan, Matthew Leckie as his beige, maybe Jackson Irvine, maybe Jason Gary. I think they're 33, 34, those guys. So, yes, we've got some good young talent coming through, but also, you have, some Socceroo staples there over years gone by, particularly in sort of Ryan and Beige, and Leckie's probably a little bit past it, but there's some guys that have been there and done that.
Yep.
I think the group is, and with the fact that you can come out of there in third, I think the expectation has to be to try and get out of the group.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Especially with the chances, I think we should be able to make it into the second stage, being the knockout stage, and then it'll just be how far we can get through that.
And think 4 years ago we lost 2-1 and held our own with the guys that won the tournament in the end in Argentina. So it's nice to have the underdog.
With D.
All right, should we keep moving because we're going to fly through now? I think. Group E.
There is 100 matches in this, by the way.
Yeah, how crazy is that? The final is their winner of match 101 versus so there's 103. 103. Bosnia is the best. Yeah, Borte. Thank you for joining us in the comments there, Marchie. Okay, so Group E. My notes here is good luck Curaçao, but they are going to the World Cup for the first time. They're ranked 82 in the world. I have some serious concerns about them.
Oh well.
We beat them 5-1.
We beat them, and this is another group that is
pretty good group, right?
Yeah, has a pretty good average outside of them.
Yeah. So Germany, maybe not the German powerhouses of years gone by. They're ranked 10 in the world. They could still win the World Cup.
Oh, definitely.
Julian Nagelsmann at the helm. They've got Manuel Neuer, 40-year-old, 124 caps in goals, and then the likes of Jamal Musiala. I've got him capitals bolded. One of the best attacking mids in the world. Florian Wirtz, Goretzka, Rudiger, Kimmich, Kai Havertz from Arsenal. I think they're going to be a team that yes, maybe they're not sort of 06, 2010 sort of Germany, but they're still going to be really good. And they're 9 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses since September of last year.
Yeah, good form to run into the World Cup.
Yep. It's not a gimme group though for them.
No, like Ecuador and Ivory Coast are fun.
Yeah, Ecuador also haven't lost for over 18 months. They're kings of the draw. They haven't won a whole lot in that run. But yeah, they can definitely park the bus and not concede. They got Caicedo from Chelsea, and some people a bit of a smoky to go far. And then you got the Ivorians as well, who they're not sort of Didier Drogba days there for the Ivory Coast guys, but they're still 33 in the world, and we're able to get through tough qualifying in Africa. But definitely Germany's group to lose, and I'd expect Curaçao to concede a few, I'd say.
Yep.
Group F is nearly the opposite. It's quite competitive across. So the Netherlands are the top seed there. They're ranked 8 in the world. They're $21 to win the whole thing. They've got Virgil van Dijk, Gakpo, Frankie de Jong, Memphis. They look good. The Dutch is always not can they get out of the group, but how far can they go?
Yep.
Famously or infamously, lost a few finals, lost plenty of semis.
Yeah, I was just trying to look up, and it was just like I remember them going into finals.
They've never won one,
but they always kind of seem to fall off somewhere.
I think they've lost 2. Yeah, and they've been in the semis plenty of times. Yeah. And again, is this the group that wins the World Cup? Probably not. Probably not. No. Could I see him making the quarters and the semis? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the Netherlands, of course. Yeah, going deep again. And then running into like an Argentina team.
Yeah. Losing. Yeah, good luck. Japan, Sweden, Tunisia also, no bums.
Yeah.
There's no real bum team in here. Tunisia will have their work cut out for them. But Japan are ranked 18 in the world. They're probably the strongest they've ever been.
Yep.
They got Endo from Liverpool, Mitamoa, Doan, Nagatomo. Like they're probably as strong as Japan has ever been. They're $61 to win the World Cup, so that probably speaks to that. And then the Swedes, they could cause a few problems. They've got quality up front in Gyökeres and Isaac. Highly sought after guys in the EPL in the last transfer window.
Yep.
Victor Lindelof at the back, coached by Graham Potter. Their expectation would be to get out of the group and go a bit further even. So Tunisia probably got their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Still a pretty solid group there with the Dutch, the Japanese, Swedes, and Tunisia. Group G, we have Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and the brothers from another mother,
Kiwi brothers.
the Kiwis. We're going to talk about it. It's probably the biggest story. No, I don't know if it's the biggest story, but it is a story in that Tim Payne, not of Dick Pic fame, but
not our Tim Payne.
Tim Payne of the Wellington Phoenix fame of 4,000 Instagram followers 2 weeks ago fame. Argentinian influencer tried to find the most obscure guy going to the World Cup, and this is
a big deal.
And this is the guy that he picked for the Wellington Phoenix player who had 4,000 or 5,000 followers on Instagram. He is at latest check over 5.5 million now. So that's the power of the internet, the viral nature of the internet. He now has more followers than people who live in New Zealand. He has more followers than the All Blacks do. And who knows how far he's going to go. So it just happens, doesn't it? It's got very Will Griggs on fire of the Euros a few years ago. Once something takes off with the internet culture.
Yeah, they just now need to find the most abstract podcast covering the World Cup.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Pump this one. The shittest podcast in the world. Let's get it 5 million followers. We'll take it. We'll take it. New Zealand will have their work cut out for them.
Definitely.
I think they're the lowest ranked team at the World Cup at 85. They're $501 to win it. Chris Wood of Not Forest is their most capped player. He's definitely can hold his own on a world stage, but depth outside of him might be challenging. The group's not impossible. Belgium, Egypt, Iran. Belgium are ranked 9 in the world. They're $41 to win the whole thing, the Red Devils. They still have some class, but they're getting old.
Yeah.
So De Bruyne, Lukaku, Courtois, Axel Witsel, Tielemans. I feel like their window's closed. I feel like if Belgium was going to win the World Cup, it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was the last one.
I'd love to be proven wrong and they make a deep run at it, but I just feel like they're a little bit too old now. Egypt, it's good to see Mo Salah at the World Cup, one of the best players in the world. So that's one thing that we do get with this 48-team World Cup is the guys that were maybe on the fringe, we get to see them.
Yep.
See them right. And then Iran, geez, this is going to be weird with the security detail and what's going on in the world and the rogue shit that Trump says. I expect there to be a few, crazy political moments in this, but just hopefully everything goes through safe and it can just be about the soccer.
So yes, there is going to be, I was just checking this because opening ceremonies, there's going to be 3 separate ones, each held in different host nation. And the first one will be Thursday in Mexico, followed by the 2 in Friday in Canada and the US.
Before the games, right?
So, yes, before the games, 90 minutes before a kickoff with the stadium. Oh, okay. No, actually, I guess that's just for the summary. Yeah.
So it's not like Olympics opening ceremony shit, but they'll just do a little bit before each game in each respective country.
Yeah, because I was interested to see if they were going to do one considering all the other stuff that's been happening. So or whether I just focus on get the games in and there's going to be a lot of security around this tournament.
And to be fair, like Americans in big sporting events, they do it all the time, right?
Yes.
So they're well equipped, from that side of things. The crowds will be interesting. We're talking about it as well. 48-team World Cup. Is there going to be a few where they're not playing out in front of a sold-out crowd?
Well, New Zealand are going to play Iran.
New Zealand versus Iran. Are they going to get 80,000 to some of these games? Maybe not.
Those tickets might be cheaper though. They might be affordable ones.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's a lot of talk about how expensive this World Cup is as well.
Any of the finals tickets is
insane. The final, the public transport, the
7 figures for some of it. So it's
the beers. I think it's $18 is what a can of beer cost you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep running. Group H has La Roja. They're ranked 2 in the world at the moment. The Spanish
Favourites?
Yes, I think they are shortest in terms of the odds. Them from France, England's 3rd. Go figure. Sean is shaking his head for those listening.
Yeah, that's literally throwing money away.
Who knows, mate? Maybe it's coming home.
Yes, come
But going back to Spain, we're talking about it pre-show.
Yep.
On paper, incredible, but maybe just lacking the real world-class striker that some of the other high-end nations have. Everywhere else, like completely stacked, like Rodri, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Pedri, Cucurella and Raya, holding them up at the back. They're incredible. They're probably the best team of the 21st century. They've won a World Cup. They've won 3 Euros in the last 16 years. So in terms of actually going deep at tournaments, it's been them. I think the baton has been passed on from Brazil to Spain, and probably there's an argument for France for being the best, in the 21st century.
And what a storyline it would be to be defending champs to go then back to host it in the next World Cup as well.
Yes,
So yeah, that'd be quite interesting.
Could certainly see them winning the World Cup. It's going to be hard for the other teams in this group, particularly Cabo Verde, who go for their first World Cup. Most caps, Ryan Mendes, coach Barbista. Good luck to him.
Making up the numbers.
Uruguay and Saudi, so they'll both be formidable. A lot of the Saudis, all of them play in the Saudi League except one player. Saud Abdul Namid plays in Lens. But yeah, they'll have a lot of continuity under Georgios Donis, their Greek coach, given that they all play together. And then Uruguay at World Cups, you can never count them out, can you? They've got one of the best midfielders in the world in Federico Valverde of Real Madrid fame. Speaking of Real, not a single Real Madrid player for Spain. First time that's ever happened. First time that's ever happened. Probably speaks to how international La Liga is getting. Maybe some coaching preferences as well, because plenty of Barca guys. But no Real Madrid players in the Spain squad.
Well, I guess it's some of those. Well, I think it kind of speaks to the size probably of the EPL as well. Like a lot of those guys.
Yeah, a lot of them go to England
to
now.
Play in England.
Didn't happen as much 20 or 25 years ago.
No.
But yeah, the first World Cup without a Real player for Spain. But yeah, Valverde is class. Darwin Núñez, Jose Jimenez. They got a few good players. They're ranked 16 in the world, which is, being the second best team in Group H is higher than a lot of the top ranked teams in some of the other groups. But yeah, should see them go through, you would think. I think Group I might be the most fun group. So Les Bleus, France are ranked 3 in the world under Didier Deschamps. They've been to the last 2 World Cup finals. So one in 2018 against Croatia, lost in 2022 against Argentina. On paper, for mine, I think they're the best team. I think they have talent across their whole starting 11. The guys that missed out on both, but the France team is amazing. And then we've got Mbappe up front with the likes of Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele, Saliba, Jules Koundé, Tchouameni, Ryan Cherki's just been incredible for Man City. I think maybe a bit more well-rounded than Spain, but time will tell. I think semi-finals minimum. Would be the expectation for France, and certainly as a second favourites can win the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. They should get out of that group quite easily.
You'd think so. It's a fun group though, because Senegal are ranked 15 in the world. They got Sadio Mane. Yeah, he's getting a bit older these days. So is Koulibaly, but they're okay. They should be the African champs after that shit show, but they're the second highest ranked African team after Morocco. They could certainly bother a few teams, and then Norway. How good was the Viking picks, mate? I thought it was AI. Well, apparently not AI. The Norway actually did like a Viking photo shoot for their team photos leading into it. They have the best striker in the world in Erling Haaland, Odegaard, Sorloth. They got some good players, and they're a big reason why Italy's not at the World Cup. Because
they just need their chances and give Haaland a couple of chances, and he's going to score some goals.
Are they dark horses, right? Like, could they win the World Cup? Their form would suggest yes.
Their form is just yes. But the team makeup compared to the other teams, you think that they, as using France as a comparison, is probably just has the talent across the pitch a bit more. But yeah, I think it just takes a chance.
Yep.
The beauty of soccer is you just need one goal and you get a lead and just hold on.
Well, that's what separates them, right?
Yeah.
Like in a scrappy game where it's 0-0 and it's who's going to be the difference maker, and you got the Viking Haaland up front. Who knows, man? Yep. Who knows? And perfect 8 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. Their goal difference was insane in a group with Italy. So as much as they've been the butt of our jokes, they're still a pretty good team.
Yeah, they
touched them up twice, including in Italy. I think they definitely can have a dark horse name to them. Iraq's there. They're probably making up the numbers. Shout out to Graham Arnold,
coaching them.
Former Socceroos coach, taking Iraq to the World Cup for the first time in 40 years, but real tough group for them to do it.
Yep.
All right, how are we going? We're running out of. We've got 3 to go.
3 to go.
All right, Group J has defending champions Argentina. They're ranked 1 in the world. Lionel Messi going around again. They should get out of this group very, very comfortably with Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. Let me get an Argentinian team up here because I already had a few. Hang on. I think there's probably a reason why their defending champs aren't the favourites. I think I said England before, but it might be Argentina as the third favourite. Their run of form's pretty good. They did lose away at Ecuador back in September. And had a draw with Colombia in one of the last qualifiers. But other than that, pretty remarkable in terms of their qualifying. Messi will play his 200th international game at age 38 in this. They still got the likes of Otamendi out there, Tagliafico, Martinez ×2, Julian Alvarez, Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, Lisandro Martinez. They're still pretty stacked.
Yeah. I don't think Argentina were the favourites the last World Cup either. I think it was France were the heavy favourites. So, and I think they're one of those teams. That needs a bit of a run, bit of a mojo, and then they can go the distance. But I wonder if they did their thing we won a World Cup for Messi, like that was last World Cup. Whether they can capture that gap as that storyline or momentum again, or is that storyline what Portugal was trying to?
I was going to say
that's the difference there.
We'll touch very, very quickly on Algeria, but I think that's a nice little run into it. So Algeria ranked 28, Austria ranked 24, and Jordan, are they? 63. Yeah, it's their first World Cup. So 2026 is the first World Cup for Jordan, probably making up the numbers. And with the format, you could potentially see Austria and Algeria getting through to the second round. But I do like that chat because in terms of storylines, and sport is weird because we follow a lot of them. And, we saw Messi, live out the dream 4 years ago and tick the only box that was left unticked.
Yes.
Does 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo tick the final box on his incredible legacy, and win a World Cup?
Well, we were just looking at before. Portugal are hosting the next one. I was just like,
45.
Could he do it again?
If they don't win this and they're hosting, just pick him in a 26-man squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Just he could be a mentor. Yeah. Maybe that's good.
Maybe he's the superstar. Put him on for 10 minutes. You need a goal.
Maybe it's not his last World Cup. That is interesting. Interesting chat.
Only because they're hosting the next one. That's the only reason. But otherwise, yes, I think I think this will be probably the last one where he plays big minutes in. Let's put it that way.
227 caps for Portugal, 143 goals for one of the best players of all time. I think the team this is their best chance.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo's past his prime, admittedly, still pretty good. Yep. Especially from set pieces and in the air.
Yeah. Well, I think previous World Cups, it definitely felt like he was a class above
everyone else,
and he was carrying the team a little bit.
Well, it's nearly opposite now.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point.
So they've got the old guy, right? But they've got maybe the best midfield in the world with Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes. Bernardo Silva's still no slouch. Yep. At the back they're solid with Ruben Diaz and Cancelo. They're probably the most well-rounded Portuguese team that we've seen in a really soft group.
Yep.
So there's no excuse for them to not win that.
Yeah.
And then with the format, then you go through and you get hopefully a weak team, and before you know it, they're in the round of 16.
Mhm.
It doesn't always play out like that in football.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
shit does happen.
Yes.
But in this group with Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia will be
Calmly is it'd be the one that'll be competitive in that. But yeah, you'd think they'd get wins over Congo and Uzbekistan, so they'd be going out of the group stage easily.
Yeah, Congo, shout out to them. They have been to the World Cup as Zaire, and they do have actually a pretty reasonable run of form. They did have that draw over the weekend with Christian Eriksen. You know what happened in Denmark? There was the game after this one. Christian Eriksen had another cardiac event.
Did he?
So
Yeah.
just thinking of him, and it's probably the last we've seen of Christian Eriksen. But going back to the Congo, it's their first time as Congo. They've been there as Zaire. They have a few guys spread out at reasonable clubs, particularly in France, like Lille and Lens. But no real sort of superstars to speak of. I suppose Aaron Wan-Bissaka of West Ham United fame is probably their biggest guy from a name perspective, and then Uzbekistan, I think, really just making up the numbers.
Yeah, happy to be there.
I like Portugal as a story.
Yes, yeah.
How it plays out, who knows?
Yeah, that is always the challenge. But yeah,
But with Bruno playing the way he is, Vitinha playing the way he is,
they're just going to capture that magic, just like we talked about Argentina did in the last one.
Group L is actually a
Cop and the L's.
pretty interesting group. Is it coming home? Is it finally coming home? England on paper,
Highly
pretty incredible. Some of the guys that missed out of the English team in Foden and Cole Palmer and Trent Alexander-Arnold, like they maybe are some of the biggest names to not be playing at the World Cup, and not because their team didn't make it, just because England is pretty stacked.
Yep.
Pretty hard group, admittedly. Panama, good luck to them. I'm sure they'll have a fair few supporters being in North America. But the Poms defensively have been really, really solid. Looking at their last 18 months here, they got touched up by Senegal back in June of last year. But outside of that, look at this run from September of last year. They've conceded 2 goals in September. Yep. And like they've beaten some pretty good teams in that. Like they smashed Serbia, they beat Wales, they beat Serbia again, they beat Albania. Did lose at home to Japan back in March.
Draw there with Uruguay as well.
Yeah, but I think on paper they're pretty good. They've probably got their last chance with Harry Kane being one of the best 3 strikers in the world, and some aging guys in sort of Jordan Henderson, John Stones.
Has he won a championship yet?
At Bayern, yes.
He did. Did he get that at Bayern?
Yeah, finally, because funnily he went there and then Dortmund won, but he's won some silverware. But I'm sure there's a gold one that he'd rather win.
Yes.
In the World Cup, and as captain, this is again, that on paper, there's no reason why they couldn't make a final or make a semi-finals. We just know what England do at World Cups, and they seem to never live up to the hype.
Yes. Is Croatia the oldest team?
Probably. They've got a few old guys. I don't have that stat on me, but definitely Modric and a few guys getting pretty old.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was like all the old fellas are going around again for one last time for Croatia. But
I've got their squad. Let me tell you how old some of their guys are. Let's go by age. So Modric is 40, Perisic is 30, Kramaric is 34, Kovacic 32. It's a fair few guys in their 30s. Yeah, I'd say looking at that average, probably the oldest team. When you look at the experience,
pretty
incredible. They have 4 guys that have got 100 international caps. They're 8 years from playing in a World Cup final.
Yeah, that was going to be a question. I was like, what year was this?
All of those guys would have been there, but are they too old?
Yes, that is.
We spoke about how Belgium is sort of out of their window. I feel like with that list, Croatia is probably out of their window, but they tend to really step it up at big tournaments, particularly in the last sort of decade. And it's a pretty tough group because Ghana will be no slouches either.
Yeah, so that's why I follow. Yeah, what do we think of Ghana then?
Yeah, I'll just get the Ghana squad up here. They are currently ranked. They're actually 74, so a bit of a slide in terms of where Ghanaian football has been at. And actually, when you look at their run recently, lots of losses. To be fair, some pretty good teams.
Who have they been playing, though?
Well, Germany, Mexico, Austria, Korea, Japan, but not a whole lot of green in their recent form, unfortunately, for the Ghanaians. Do have Jordan Ayew up front here, Leicester City fame. Thomas Partey, pretty good. Semenyo, who's been excellent for Man City. But yeah, I think maybe getting out of the group might be the goal for the Ghanaians.
Yep.
Who's your pick? Who do you think will win it? And give me one dark horse after what we've spoken about over the last half an hour.
I'm going to pick Portugal as my dark horse.
Yep.
It's probably a terrible dark horse, though.
Probably a bit favourite-y,
but
they've never won. They've never won it.
Never won it.
That can be a dark horse.
And
the
they're outside of maybe the top 4. They're probably knocking down the door, though. Because what I want to do then is I don't want France to win it. Maybe not Brazil. Germany. Oh, let's Argentina go back to back.
Argentina back to back.
Maybe Argentina.
Messi really settles the GOAT debate.
Yeah. Argentina Portugal final, maybe.
Ooh,
that'd be so tasty.
FIFA would love that, wouldn't they?
Yes.
All right, so you're going Argentina to go back to back, and Portugal as your dark horse. I better say some different shit then, I guess. I think France, like I said before, I think France
can't go past them
on paper. I think just seem that little bit more well-rounded than Spain. Watch this bite me in the ass because Spain at big tournaments just seem to show up. Yeah. I'll say France, and I'll say from the same group, the dark horse being the Vikings, the Norwegians.
Definitely fair.
Could they win the World Cup? I suppose. Yeah, you need to have them as a dark horse. You need to say they can win the World Cup, but look for the Norwegians to go deep, maybe into the quarters or the semis. I'll say.
Yep.
It all kicks off in 4 sleeps time. It's the Mexicans versus South Africa. Is that the first one? Let me get some games. You had it up before, didn't you?
Right here. Actually, no, this is not going to help.
I might beat you to it. Mexico, South Africa, June 11 kicks off, so that'll be sort of mid-morning, June 12 or 1 p.m. It'll be early morning our time on Friday morning from the Estadio Azteca, and that will kick off a 5.5 festival of soccer.
Yep. Exciting.
All right. We'll briefly talk some NFL before getting into a final round.
Oh, he broke his ankles.
We're a little bit out of order here. We are definitely missing out our third Esky bra in Monks. But let's talk some NFL trades. There was a huge one during the week. Sean, take it away for us.
Let's just cover off some news real quick, so we can then focus on the big story. Some wide receivers got paid. So Christian Watson got paid by your Packers. He got 4-year, $110 million extension for himself.
Yeah, that seems to be more on projection and talent than what we've seen. Obviously, hamstrings has been
I think it's also
injury.
to lock in the core with Dobbs going after the Patriots as well. So you kind of lock him in you tie him to love, essentially. Then Drake London also got paid. His numbers, I think, was 4 years, $141 million.
Jeez, big money.
So big money, maybe a little bit more proven than Watson. So that's
definitely.
why,
definitely.
Yeah, so that's why he gets a bit there. And then interesting, the OBJ signs back up with the Giants. So that's there. Caleb Williams is going to be in the Madden NFL 27 cover athlete. So taking some of those photos. I guess it's fun, I guess, with his whole Iceman kind of persona and stuff he's going to going with. And they've taken one of the covers will be his his jumping throw kind of Michael Jordan, the Jordan kind of logo. So yeah, that's why they've taken that, which is interesting. Russell Wilson is officially retiring, maybe in quotation marks. But I don't think anyone's going to give him a gig, so he's looking to join TV. I think it was CBS that he's going to join. So he's going to say he's retiring and won Super Bowl, 10 Pro Bowls or something like that in his career. Pretty good for a 4th or 5th round pick.
I think he was 3rd.
I know Dak was 3, so I thought he was later.
I'll find
as a
it
comparison
for
of
Russell Wilson. Yeah, I reckon late 3rd round.
So that then covers off sort of the news and then leads us into the trades. The trade that everyone knew was going to happen happened. So AJ Brown does get traded to the Patriots for a first round pick and a 5th round pick. There's actually future picks if you look at it. So it's
2028.
It's 2028 first pick. So it's not next year's draft, but the following one. But they get a 5th in next round draft. Yeah, you were right.
Late 75th overall back in 2012 for Russ. But yeah, the Brown trade. This has been spoken about all summer over there, hasn't it?
Yep.
Well,
yeah, it's been right on the wall. With Vrabel still there as the head coach, so it's just like it seemed likely. And by all accounts, he's kind of fitting in well there. And joins Dobbs. They've got a pretty interesting little wide receiver core there to support May as he kind of grows as a quarterback. Then
the big one,
the leads into the big one, the one that kind of AJ Brown I think got traded, and then within like 10 minutes, Myles Garrett got traded to the Raiders. Everyone was just like, "Holy shit!"
Rams.
Sorry, holy shit. Why is this happening? So he goes to the Rams, traded for Jared Verse, and a 1st round pick next year, 2nd round pick the year after, and a 3rd round pick the year after that, in total. For, I guess, taking a guy that's more proven, and of course, defensive player of the year last year. Did he break the sack record?
Yep.
I think he did. Yeah. So you add that to your pass rush, trade away, a rookie defensive of the year, an up and coming player, very similar measurables to Myles Garrett, but of course not the experience and maybe more of a win now approach.
That's 100% what they've done. This is essentially what they did last time around, just 4 or 5 years ago when they won under McVay for the first time, and they traded the house then, didn't they, to try and get as much win now sort of talent. And this might be the missing piece. I think they were the favourites before this trade.
Yeah, they had their reigning MVP, so the offense is good.
Yep.
There's no doubt there.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe a bit of extra pass rush on the defense will help make the difference when they're scoring points and they can defend a few.
Yep.
So yeah, and with all the rumors now that Aaron Donald is like still 35.
Yep.
Still, of course, jacked all shit.
I'm sure
could roll in and
2 weeks of training and roll in and be one of the best defenders in the NFL.
Yeah. And then have Myles Garrett next to him. You're just like, no, please don't inflict the league on that. So
that's a scary proposition for
definitely.
offensive linemen if that does happen.
Yeah. 2 former defensive players of the year on the offensive line.
Yep.
Yeah.
3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year in Aaron Donald in 17, 18, and 20, and was in that Super Bowl champion team from a few years ago at the Rams. And like you said, Shauno, he's 35. He's only just turned 35. Yep. Watch this space. It does seem very rumory at the moment.
Yeah, it does. But there's, the video of them training together already.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, Donald kind of in and around some of the OTAs. Not like participating, but he's in the building.
He's there. He's there. It does also mean for Aussies,
a last ride kind of thing.
Well, for Aussies lucky enough to get a ticket to opening day in Melbourne here in September, you confirm going to see Myles Garrett, barring horrific injury. And imagine that if you see Aaron Donald down here at the MCG, plus all their superstars in Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and the like.
Stacked team. So, yeah, very out of the blue kind of trade. I guess the Browns, for Myles, I think he's 30, maybe 31. Capitalize on his value now, get a young similar sort of build replacement. You've already spent big on the defensive, especially the defensive line. So, it's... They feel like it's maybe not a significant downgrade. I think Myles is a big part of why they're successful on defense. But
yeah, how do you feel about it from a Browns perspective? Because obviously we've spoken a whole lot from a Rams perspective.
Let me put it this way: the Browns' defense was never their issue.
Yep.
Like their defense is actually pretty good, and they've got a lot of talent over there. I think the quarterback conversation is one you need to address and figure out first, and then add some talent on that offensive side of the ball.
It's a lot of thinking for the future. Jared Verse is going to be good. No one's Myles Garrett, but
agree.
Who knows? But then they also get 3 picks, and they're all sort of, it's not all going to happen in one draft. I probably would have liked to have seen maybe one more first rounder, but look, they're thinking into the 2030s, aren't they? With this trade, And the Rams are thinking let's win now before Stafford goes
well,
off to the
it gives them. They're going to probably be picking high next draft, and it gives them more ammo to maybe target a quarterback because I think they should be in the last year of Watson's deal, so they might finally get from under his shoes.
He's listed as a starter on the depth chart at the moment. We'll see how all the training camps go.
Yeah, he's been in there training, so by all accounts is healthy currently. So it's him and Sanders and
Dylan Gabriel.
Gabriel, I think, is a distant third.
They drafted that Talon Green who had maybe the best combine for a quarterback. Like, was freakish athletically. But
whether he plays quarterback for them or
they might try and convert him into tight end or something. Yeah.
So yes, I think it kind of pushes that problem out a year, and maybe they can address it next year, and they've got some ammo to maybe move up for what's potentially going to be one of the better QB draft classes. So that, maybe be able to take a big swing at one of those guys.
We'll see what happens. We're still a few months away, but certainly gets very interesting sort of come August, doesn't it? As we lead into preseason. But one of the biggest trade in recent memory, and pretty shocking, I think, because
for a June trade,
there wasn't heaps and heaps and heaps of speculation like the AJ Brown trade, for example.
No. Cool.
All right, let's wrap this up with a final round. All right, should we start with some UFC?
Yeah, UFC. So it was fight card yesterday. Not a huge amount of big names on it. Bilal Muhammad was probably the biggest one, and he did lose to up-and-comer in Gabriel Bonfim. And it was a unanimous decision. He lost every round, essentially. So a lot of talk about, he's a wrestler. Why did he decide to have a stand-up fight for 25 minutes? He's not getting any younger. I think he's 38. Where he kind of fits and wants to go around in the welterweight division going forward.
There's an Aussie as well that won in lightweight in Tom Nolan, who is looking for a ranking in the lightweight division. Went to decision. He won via unanimous decision. So, well done to him. Yeah, we'll see if Tom Nolan gets a ranking.
Yeah, I think it was an 18-month layoff for him coming back in that one. So, it was good to see him as an Aussie there. Junior did lose, unfortunately, for, I guess, Kiwi Australian connection. But the big one we've got to talk about is UFC Freedom 250 next weekend. So you can have a look. They don't have that one, but they've we talked a little bit about the roof. They've put up.
So they are doing one. I have seen it. Get built.
It's
open air, but it has a roof.
Yeah, it's a small roof that would be the size of the octagon, essentially.
Okay.
So if it's raining sideways, it's probably not going to do a whole lot.
They don't get too wet. But
I think everyone else will get wet, and they might. Yeah, I'd say his edges of the cage is probably going to get wet. I think
the East Coast in summer as well can be pretty humid and.
If you look at the weather forecast 7 days out, they're forecasting a bit of drizzle. So a
few storms, a bit of Stormy Daniels.
It's not with Trump being there.
Banned.
Yeah. So yes, they could be a bit of a challenge of that, but that thing's really designed to carry the lights essentially and the audio equipment. So, but it is a massive card. Got Ilia Topuria taking on Justin Gaethje in the lightweight division for the unification of that belt because Justin's got the interim. So that is pretty cool.
How good is Topuria? Like, is he, top three kind of pound for pound guy in the UFC at the moment?
Yeah, I think his confidence has kind of gone to next levels. Like, doesn't have a losses record. He had a couple scares early in his UFC career, a couple of knockdowns, but he's just taken to another level. And then
he hasn't lost.
Yeah, he hasn't lost. And then his competition and in title fights, he's just been too good. So what he's done to all the recent guys, and it'd be interesting to see because Justin's kind of engaged. He's kind of in that spot where his recent fights where he does well is when he fights more tactical, but he always has that gambler brawler in him, which is not going to work against Topuria because that's exactly what he wants because then he can fire off some of those bazookas and then, if he lands, there could be a good night for Gaethje. It's going to be a very tough ask for Gaethje to win because, you look at what Topuria has done recently to big names, they're all KOs. So, I'm backing Ilya in this one.
Yeah, me too. Gaethje's 37, and it'd be awesome if he could. But yeah,
He's never been the official champion. I think he's had the interim twice
Yep.
and then lost to Khabib, and then we'll see how he goes with this one.
yeah, you're right. And he's had a BMF belt and lost a BMF belt and a couple of interims, but never official champion. Topuria, going back to pound for pound rankings, is two only behind Makachev at the moment.
Yep.
Then a massive sort of co-main in Alex Pereira taking on Cyril Gane at heavyweight. So Pereira going for the first ever 3-weight division champion.
Correct. Yes, the interim is up because Aspinall has the official. But yeah, they put the interim belt up on the line for this one, and Alex Pereira, I think, is not getting any younger as well. He's 38. Yes, but yeah, for him, it'll be to cement his legacy and put himself in that GOAT conversation of winning 3 different weight classes and being all the big ones essentially.
Yeah.
And then if he does win it, there's a 100% chance he calls out John Jones.
Yep.
For maybe the last hurrah for both of them as a GOAT off. Let's say that would be the storyline you want to follow through. But
pretty incredible, like him going up from middleweight to get up to light heavyweight to now heavyweight.
Yeah, the rumors are he's 242 pounds.
How does that work? How
did he cuts all the way to
185? How the hell did he ever make 185 and win?
Yeah, wild.
Nuts, dude. Nuts. Did have that loss against Ankalaev the first time round, but has since beaten him. And is current light heavyweight champ, and goes up to be interim heavyweight, and probably going into this as favourite, I would think, against Cyril Gane.
Yes, I think so. It's going to be an interesting, fun fight. Considering John Jones came back, ran through Gane like it was nothing. But it's a different
It is different. You also think about how much time John Jones took to get up to the weight. Remember, he didn't fight for like 2 years, just in the gym, videos of him deadlifting fucking every second day, just eating, just trying to chuck all the weight on.
Whereas Pereira has just done it in 12 months.
Yeah. He's built different Poatan, but that's a fun fight.
There's a lot of fun fights on this. And that probably leads into O'Malley taking on, how do you say?
Zahibi.
So that's bantamweight. That's 3 versus 6. So that's pretty close to a contender fight because you got Marab's probably going to run it back against Peter Yan, who is the current holder of the belt. If a win for O'Malley puts him straight back in that conversation to potentially go up against one of those guys. Right at the bottom. Yeah, so
Yan, Dvalishvili, Nurmagomedov, O'Malley is how it currently is. Champ 1, 2, 3.
So just
Zahabi is 6.
So has he got a fight?
Yeah, so of those guys,
that's his last win.
So Nurmagomedov has a fight against David Martinez, and Sandman has a fight against Batista.
Martinez isn't ranked, so that's
who after?
Yeah, his next opponent, David.
Where's
his ranking? 8.
8. Yeah.
2 versus 8. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like a good showing for O'Malley. And maybe a potential better showing than what Umar does. Might puts him straight back in that conversation because I assume the rematch is going to happen for Yan Marab.
Yeah. And O'Malley's just so marketable as well.
Yeah.
If he's not getting the championship fight on his next one, he'll be getting one of those 2 guys, you'd think, in Marab or Umar.
Yep. Then we get the fun heavyweight fight with Hockey taking on Derek Lewis. This was a late ad, of course. So it's actually maybe 2-month turnaround for Josh.
Yep. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't think
his Wikipedia photo is elite.
Yeah, his persona's hilarious. So
April 11, he beat Curtis Blades. Hasn't lost in the UFC.
Yep. So right on that 2-month window. And yeah, fireworks. I don't think this will get out of the first round.
Nope.
And flip a coin. It's essentially how these guys it'll go in the heavyweight division.
The power is scary. The Black Beast, Derek Lewis, is actually 41 years of age, so probably past his prime, but that power still is there.
Yep.
And he still has wins. Not that long ago, he's beaten Teixeira and Nascimento, just coming off a loss against WCA.
Michael Chandler comes back in the lightweight division, so he's taking on Ruffy. Don't know much about Ruffy. I wonder for Chandler.
29-year-old Brazilian only has the one loss in the UFC.
Yeah. I think the storyline for Chandler is getting himself back in that conversation for whether he wants to do that Conor McGregor fight with McGregor taking on Holloway in a couple of months' time. It's a big layoff.
Yeah, and the problem with Chandler is he's only won against Tony Ferguson in his last 6.
Yep.
Although a fair few killers in there. Oliveira twice, Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, Poirier.
Yep.
He's 40 as well.
He's 40, yeah. Not getting any younger. So, again, that's that storyline of, maybe if it's a win or have a competitive fight, maybe have that storyline. If Conor wants to do another fight after Holloway, that they can put those two together. Because their fight was the fight of never what. Bo Nickel gets a run. This is an unranked fight for these two.
Kyle Dorcas,
yeah, they're both not ranked in the middleweight division. But Bo Nickel, big yank name, I guess.
Yep.
We'll get a go.
And Dorcas coming off 6 wins in a row, including 3 finishes.
Yep. And then we run into the featherweight division where we got Diego Lopez taking on Steve Garcia, which is 2 versus 9. So that's, I guess, for Lopez, he needs a good showing, get himself back in that conversation for another go at the champ, at the Volk.
This will be Sunday afternoon our time, isn't it? So
actually, it's Monday. I thought I saw, which is
because
it's going to be Sunday over there. Yeah, so it's going to be like Monday afternoon for us.
That's annoying for Aussie fans.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, it's a long weekend over there. Is it presumably? Maybe.
Yeah.
Get at us in the comments, Americans, if you have the Monday off. What do you think about the spectacle? Obviously, we've had.
Well, I don't know.
Months and months and months to think about it.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting idea. Let's see if they can pull off the spectacle.
Yep.
That'll be the question.
Yep.
Or does it feel like a Apex Arena fight where there's like 100 people in there? Because that Muhammad fight night, Muhammad fight night yesterday, I watched some of that, and they're in the Apex Center, and there's probably a couple hundred people in that building.
You don't get the crowd noise.
No, it's so.
One of the other things you can hear
lots,
the shots,
and you can hear the crowd that does yell things.
Yes.
So, but it doesn't have a lot of atmosphere.
Different to
it's
20,000 in
exactly.
a basketball stadium.
Exactly. So, yeah, yes, the Bible counts it's going to be 2,500-ish. Whether that number is maybe a little overs, I don't know. We'll see how many they can actually pack in there. And if it's damp, like what's... I don't know how the spectacle's going to go until I've seen the spectacle. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it on the next pod, how it all unfolds. UFC Freedom 250, only a week away.
Yep. Wrap us up with some F1.
Bastian Vettel.
Mate, Kimi Antonelli's pretty good, hey?
Yes, he is. And a bit of Monaco madness, which was quite interesting considering Monaco ends up being a procession most of the time because it's a very hard circuit overtake. Yes. But we ended up with 6 retirees. The track fell apart at one point, which caused 2 of the retirees. There was 7, 8 pit lane speeding penalties handed out. Gasly got 2 of them. So it was an interesting but pedestrian race. Then at the 60 lap mark of 78, we had 2 crashes basically back to back on the last corner because the tarmac was being ripped up. So essentially it was creating big chunks, and you drive over the chunks, you get no traction, straight into the wall in an F1 car. So they did red flag the race for about half an hour to fix that and sweep it all up, which made it interesting because everyone got closer with their times. But yeah, Kimi was just too dominant. He wins his 5th race of the season. He did get the Grand Slam, so he had led every lap, fastest lap, and the win for basically a dominant time in Monaco.
How often does that happen in F1?
When you're dominating, it can do. Like Verstappen's got a bunch. I think there was a couple last year between Oscar and Lando. Like it does happen, but yeah, it just shows you how dominant you were on that weekend.
Yep.
So that was big for him. Russell got heaps of pens. He got a drive through because he didn't serve a pen, so that basically took him out of the race completely. He was running about 4th. Gasly finished 3rd, but with his 2 speeding penalties, he finished 7th overall. Oscar, our boy, did finish 4th, with Hadjar finishing 3rd, and Lewis Hamilton with Kim in, who did got a lot of TV time of Kim Kardashian, Hamilton did finish second for this race, which for him means he goes to second overall in the points, but he's about 60 behind where Kimi is at the moment with a big lead. So he is very young, but I don't think he'd be the... Ooh.
He's 19. That's what I wanted to ask you as a resident F1 nuffy. How good is this kid? Like, if he is winning week in, week out at this age, like, are we looking at the future of the F1?
Are we looking at the next Max Verstappen? That was always the talk at Mercedes, and it's very interesting when you talk about where Mercedes, had been potentially targeting Verstappen for one of their seats, which could mean Russell's out the door. But if Kimi wins a world championship, well, you've got a world champion now. You don't necessarily need Max Verstappen. So it does enter a very interesting dynamic. So yeah, they've won every race this year, Mercedes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so Russell won Australia, didn't he? So and then Kimi would have been second. That says Vettel was the youngest world champion at 23. And I thought Max did it younger.
I feel like Max was 21, and that's again from a die-hard.
As world champion.
Gotta watch out for the old AI. It hasn't been right a couple of times. Was Max 21?
He would have been 2021. He won his first one.
Okay.
So how old is Max Verstappen now? He is 28. So quick math, he would have been 23. So yeah. Kimi's got 4 years to work with because he's only 19. But yeah, he could smash that record as the youngest F1 world champion. There you go.
They go to Barcelona next week.
We kind of ramp up now. We're in Europe a little bit for F1. So it starts to heat up a little bit. Mercedes out and out the favourites.
Yep.
Ferrari have been competitive but haven't been able to win anything. And McLaren are well off the pace compared to they were last year. So
yeah, it's good to see a little bit of consistency is now starting to happen in the F1 because it's 6 races in and we're into the 6th month of the year. It seems like fuck all, doesn't it?
Well, we're into the 3rd month of the season. So
and
they've had 6 races. So yes, Barcelona and Austria into London, Belgium, Hungary. We're in a bit of a European leg.
Yep.
That'll kind of get us motoring with I think they have 6 races in the next 2 months as a comparison.
Yep.
So it'll be pretty good, and we will know more very, very soon.
All right, that'll wrap us up for tonight. This is On The Esky. If you have found us for the first time on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We normally pod about every 2 weeks, usually 3 of us, but Monk's gone down with the dreaded man flu this evening. Big show, obviously, leading into the World Cup.
Yep.
We'll see how our beloved Socceroos go. Hopefully they can get out of the group. We'll see how our predictions go with Argentina and France, maybe Portugal, maybe Norway going deep. Who knows? Anything can happen at the World Cup. No doubt Spain will be good. Germany, Brazil, always there or thereabouts. Can England do it?
Can England do something?
Can England bring it home? Look, realistically, there's probably only about sort of 6 to 8 teams that can actually win this thing. But we always see some stories. You watch one of the minnows get out of the group as well. Will we talk about a Haiti or a
Bosnia
or a Uzbekistan, Bosnia getting out? And oftentimes we see pretty good teams even make the pretty mediocre teams making the semis. I suppose by definition they're good if they make the semis. You know what I mean? So some guys going deeper than what they had been expected to do. I think your Turkeys, I think your South Koreas, think your Moroccos, guys that have made World Cup semi-finals despite not being heavily favoured. NRL, we've got State of Origin 2. So the next time we pod, either Blues will have the series or we'll have a decider. Obviously, all the week-in footy this time of the year. Halfway through the league and
NBA finals.
Yeah, NBA finals. Next time we pod,
probably have a winner.
I think we'll know. I think we'll know.
Yeah.
But yeah, is New York about to go crazy this week? Always plenty happening in the wide world of sports. And how's UFC Freedom 250 going to go? Will it live up to all this hype? Seems like it's been the biggest talking point in MMA over the last 6 months. So we'll see how that all unfolds. But yeah, thanks if you've joined us here. Check out previous vids, social media, etc. And we should see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep. Bye.